Welcome back to live coverage of Bazaar of BoM Strasbourg. Great pleasure to have your company once again. It's the Modern Master, Patrick Dickman, alongside Riley Knight in the booth. In the feature match area, however, our top 8 is getting assembled, getting ready. We've got a huge array of decks, a pretty diverse field today. I mean, it's legacy. We're going to have a wide range of decks, but we know at least, I think, 6 or 7 of the top 8 decks in front of us. So what can you tell us about what we're looking at?
Yeah, I think we have, this is not in order. Like, I don't know if the standings are correct, so these are the people that made the top 8, but I don't know their position within the top 8.
Well, we know number 1.
Yeah.
Number one is Pierre Canali, who's playing this absurd opportunity list that just doesn't seem to be able to lose to anything.
Opposition.
Opposition. Opportunity would probably make the deck a lot better.
Yeah. Probably.
So we got the opposition deck playing Coiling Oracle, playing Elvish Visionary, playing Creative Behemoth. Yeah.
And we got Johannes Gutbrod. We believe that he's playing Death in Texas.
Death in Texas. We've seen him on camera before. Yeah.
And we got Anton Kalinsky, who lost the last round, but he still made it. He's playing Eldrazi. And
now this is the defending champion. This is the guy who's actually got the Bazaar of Moxon Legacy title. Yeah. He's put up a huge performance again this weekend.
Absolutely.
And he'll be looking to make sure he doesn't lose his grip on that trophy. Eldrazi, certainly very strong choice here.
Strong choice for sure. Then we got Niklas Holtmann. We also saw him in the feature match area earlier this day, and he was playing Shardless Bug. And we got Gary Mialare, who's playing Miracles.
And now these are the 2 decks that would really, I mean, you're going to expect to see them in the top 8s of any major legacy thing. You've got Shardless Sultai, you've got Miracles. These decks are very heavily represented in legacy.
I've been seeing a lot of Shardless Bug plays, and I mean the deck, it's really popular nowadays that Eldrazi's also taking over legacy, or not taking over, but also a very popular choice in legacy. And cards like Baleful Strix, they're just so good against Eldrazi. So
I think the disruption that the Shardless deck offers against Eldrazi, and I mean Miracles is also pretty reasonably well positioned against it if it has the right kind of start. And I think the fact that we see the 2 dominant decks in Legacy beat down on the Eldrazi deck means that the Eldrazi deck doesn't sort of go over the top of them and completely take over the format.
However, we still got another Eldrazi deck in our top 8.
So at least two.
It's at least 2. It's Kevin Sauvignon also playing Eldrazi. And the last one, but we don't know what he's playing, is David Locoge. Okay, all right. So we're going to check that out and see if we can get that information as soon as possible. But interesting to see, pretty wide open top 8 here. A lot of different, a lot of diversity. But the Eldrazi, this is something we keep coming back to, and especially with these legacy tournaments when we're checking in quite often on the format. It is a format that's slow to adapt, slow to, I guess, for its changes to become widespread and. What we were talking about last time, honestly, is the fact that we didn't think that the perfect list had been found for Eldrazi. The perfect 75 still hasn't been put together. Probably not. It takes a lot of time to adjust the decks in Legacy.
Absolutely. But do you feel like, have we seen some kind of evolution today, or are people sort of happy with what they've got?
I mean, I saw some Eldrazi in the feature matches, but so far they've been looking pretty similar to what I've been used to so far. Like, I have not seen someone go out of his way and try something super spicy, which doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, Eldrazi has been putting up strong numbers so far, and maybe they surprise us. I haven't seen the deck lists yet, but so far maybe small adaptations like this for sure. I mean, you've got to prepare your deck for any event. Like, I mean, you've got to think about the expected metagame, things like that, but nothing that is super new.
Well, it's interesting to see the different cards that comes into play. Maybe we'll have more of a chat about that as we get into our quarterfinal here. But it is time to head down to the feature match area. Table 1 is ready, so let's get to it and have a look at how things are going to shake out down there right now. Here we go and have a look at. We've got Pierre Canali playing against Sebastian Bartel.
Who's he playing? I was thinking. I think I only mentioned 7 names.
Yep.
And this is
number 8. There you go. Yeah. So
the one
Pierre
I was missing. I'm
Canali seated first, and Bartel here, his opponent. We'll see what these players have brought to bear here. Looks like Canali's fixing up a little sleeve issue there. Judges spotted that one needs replacement, so we're going to see if Canali's got... look at that, he's got his deck builder's toolkit. He's ready to go. He can build up a new deck, no worries.
Right away.
There we go. Okay, so Sleeve going to replace that one there, and we'll see what Bartle's looking on. But he's snuck in with 19 points. Pretty stacked top 8 here. I mean, a Pro Tour champion at the top of it as well. So these players have got their work cut out for them. A Pro Tour champion, a Bazaar of Moxon champion, some people who have been around the traps. Patrick Dickman.
Yeah, absolutely.
Canali opening up with a Gitaxian probe, so it looks like we've got an Elves deck as well for Bartle. So that's 7 archetypes across 8 players.
Yeah, that's impressive.
It speaks to the format, really. I mean, this is the metagame breakdown should be up on the Bazaar of Moxon website before too much longer. But we did, we're looking at a format where if 15% of players are playing a deck in Legacy, that's huge. Like that's a lot. That's a lot.
When there's so many decks to choose from, right? Yep.
And we don't see a lot of fluidity with people playing decks. I mean, as a professional magician, you're going to pick the best deck for the day. Maybe you'll be biased one way or another. We saw you pioneer new versions of Splinter Twin and Modern and that sort of thing. But largely speaking, there's especially in Standard, for example, you will go to whichever deck you think is the best, right? You won't necessarily stick to the deck that you've had for the longest, which is what ends up in Legacy.
I mean, it's tough to compare deck choices in Standard and Legacy because, of course, Standard is a rotating format, so you'll have to change decks every now and then. I mean, I guess you can prefer certain archetypes and pick them up again and again because, of course, there's recurring themes in the new sets. Legacy and Modern as well, of course, very different thing, and I think it does make sense in Legacy as well as in Modern to pick a deck that you like and really champion it and become very good at playing it, because in those Eternal formats it's very important to really know how your deck is positioned in the metagame against the other decks, and just be cover all the angles, know exactly what you're doing, things like that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, Sebastian Bartle, he'll be in a position now, where it's not 100% of the time, not even close to 100% of the time, but the fact that he's playing Elves and the fact that he'll come up against a lot of familiar situations in such a hugely wide open and diverse format, he will have some of these moves already or some of these plans already pre-made.
Exactly. And what is interesting about this matchup, we saw Pierre Canali play against Elves before in the feature match area, and he lost. He was also stating that Elves is probably among his worst matchups. So we'll see how this will be playing out. Problem is, opposition is much less exciting when your opponent also has building creatures and a lot of lands in play, right? They're doing similar things.
Yeah.
I think the Elf deck might be a favorite because he can be doing busted stuff as well and also win the same way Pierre Canali is winning with Grotto Behemoth.
We'll see if Bartle's able to leverage that position into a W here. Canali starting things off with 2 very powerful 1-drops, Deathrite Shaman and Noble Hierarch, but not a lot else really, considering that he had 3 mana available on turn 2 here.
Yeah, his deck needs a little bit of setup. I mean, he wants his opposition in play, he wants his Garruk in play. These are all rather expensive spells, especially for Legacy, but 4 mana is a lot.
4 mana is, 4 mana is when you start getting to Jace the Mind Sculptor, so it's got to it's got to really shape up, it's got to hold up against the greatest Planeswalker ever printed. Bartle is finding his Bayou here, Savannah and Bayou in play. Seen a lot of green decks on the tables this week and this weekend, and I know that one of the biggest criticisms of the Legacy format is the dominance of blue and Brainstorm and that sort of stuff. Hasn't been the weekend for Brainstorm.
No, it hasn't. There's still I think it's just two Brainstorm decks in our top 8 right now. The Brainstorm decks, they don't fare too well against Eldrazi, and depending on what you're playing, Shardlessburg is of course a Brainstorm deck, and it's probably the one putting up the best numbers. And I think we had 2 Storm decks that were also in contention for top 8, but they both lost. So
but it's interesting to see Delver just get completely pushed to the sidelines here. Well, we've seen such a sharp decline. I mean, you look at Annecy, where combined Delver decks were 40% of the format, and come here today, and I think we had about less than 10% of them. So a huge decline.
Yeah, Delver as well as Miracles as well as Eldrazi, they both do quite well against Delver, and Shardless Rug is also a deck that is really good against Delver decks. So yeah, maybe the form is just not right for Delvers right now. I mean, it's kind of sad because I'm a person who really likes to play with Delver of Secrets, but I can see why it's not doing so well right now.
So Canali now, 5 mana available for him. See how he wants to leverage it.
Yeah.
Bartle searching out a Nettle Sentinel. Be quite powerful in conjunction with that Heritage Druid here.
Yeah, rather slow start from the Elf player. Let's see what's going to happen next turn. And here's a 4 mana card, and it's going to be opposition.
Here is opposition. So, Canali now with the namesake card on the table. He's going to be very happy about that.
I mean, he's choosing to play another 1-drop probably.
That's going to be a Dryad
Arbor. Probably tapping the Heritage Druid in Bartle's upkeep.
Yeah, with another Nettle Sentinel, things could get really hairy here for Canali, because that's just an absolute machine there.
Yeah.
The Nettle Sentinel in conjunction with 1 and especially 2.
Yeah, and you won't get to I guess you get to shut down it with opposition, because it's still 2 separate triggers. So if you have enough creatures, both Nettle Sentinels will be untapping, and if you tap one right away, Bartle might just not have enough mana to use his Heritage Druid's ability of tapping 3 elves to net 3 mana.
So we're seeing an activation of opposition here, but I think Bartle has a response.
Yeah,
Looks like it's going to be abrupt.
Yeah, I think Canali chose to tap a land instead of the Heritage Druid.
Okay, so Bartle now plays a Cavern of Souls.
Probably naming Elf.
Probably naming Elf.
Yeah.
Maybe misclicked and clicked Eldrazi instead.
Yeah. Just an attack for free, and Deathright Shaman.
Deathright Shaman come down as well. Okay, so it's back to Canali now. So Bartle, a pretty slow start really for an Elves
but
player.
both of them. I mean, Canali a little faster than Bartle, in comparison to what both decks can do. But we'll see what his follow-up will be. I think he's down to 1 card, or is it 2?
Well, neatly stackable pile there.
Yeah.
It looks like another 4 mana here. This is going to be Garrick.
It might be. I think it's the only 4 mana cards that he's playing.
Yeah, another opposition, not great.
Yeah.
So here's a Garrick now. Untap 2 lands or make a 3/3. We'll see what happens.
Might be building a 3/3 here.
Holds down the board rather nicely. Funny how a 3/3 in this format is just unbeatable.
Unbeatable, too large.
Yeah. And of course, many people more experienced with Modern would recognise that a 3/3 is, not much to be trifled with really. But here, geez, you can't underestimate it.
Yeah.
This is not a format where Lightning Bolt reigns supreme. As we see Canali grab another Dryad Arbor out.
I think Bartle might have...
And again, forgetting the Green Sunseed.
Another Dryad Arbor. I think Bartle might have missed an opportunity though, because I think he's holding Garrick Teak. If he had played that one earlier, and he had the option to do it, he could have completely shut down Pierre's game plan, because this game so far he cast 2 greens on Zenith, which he could not have cast, and opposition and Garrick, which would all be stuck in his hand now.
And now we see opposition being activated, Deathrite Shaman being tapped, Savannah being tapped. Okay. So Canali just happy enough to activate Garrick, get the Dryad Arbor out, say go, tap down some stuff, and now it's up to Bartle to find out what he's going to do here. Now maybe Canali knows about, or doesn't. No. Has he seen the Garrick Teak with the Gitaxian Probe, or was it drawn later?
I'm not sure. I think he has seen it.
Okay, well that would explain why the Savannah's been tapped down here. Looks like we've got some attackers coming in at Garrick. That Noble Hierarch can be very noble and jump in the way here.
Yeah, I doubt that this is going to happen though. It's just going down to 1, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think having it at 1 is still good enough.
I don't know. It looks like Canali is really very strongly considering the block.
Yeah. But I think he needs as many creatures in play as possible, right? I mean, he might be considering that he's just gonna minus. I think he's doing something with 4 attacks.
Before attacks, that makes
he's tapping.
sense. Okay.
I was about to say, like, if you
a lot
want
more
to block,
sense of block.
if you just want to like prevent attack from happening, just tap something. For 3 mana, is it another Green Sun Center? No, that is Shaman of the
Shaman of the Pack. So we're going to see that's 4 life.
Yeah, 4 life being lost. It's life lost, not damage.
Yeah,
so you can't
beat
kill
me
the
to it,
Garuk.
mate. Absolutely, so important to make that distinction here, because otherwise Garrett could be dead as a doornail.
Yeah.
Finale draws. We're going to go upstairs again by the look of things. Oh no, down. Okay,
it's-
just couldn't find that one.
Yeah, I think he has enough mana to like pretty much cast anything in his deck outside of Kratos Behemoth. It's just going to be 1 token, not 4.
Very optimistic there, getting 4 tokens ready. Okay. Now Canali does want to keep the creatures flowing, because of course if he can basically negate his opponent's attacks while he does this.
Yeah,
So-
and I mean, it's always nice to negate your opponent's attacks when having a Planeswalker in play. So, yeah, we'll see whether or not he's able to like protect his Garuk for long enough.
So Bartle now faced with the choice of whether to activate the Deathrite Shaman, and it looks like we are going to see an activation.
Yeah, I think he has.
Finally down to 6.
I think he does not have that much like action left in his hand outside of the Galactic, and I mean he has enough mana to cast pretty much anything he wants. So yeah, it does make a lot of sense. To like, I mean Pierre is already down to 6, so
So Pierre, cutting off the Savannah once again here means that Bartle isn't going to be able to cast that Galactic.
and he might be giving up on his Garuk though, or
Yeah.
maybe he drew Abrupt Decay. Like we don't know, we don't know this last card, but I know that he's playing Abrupt Decay. So
Well, if it's an Abrupt Decay, surely you tap down the... I mean, you kill the 3/2, the Shaman of the Pack.
I'm not sure. I'm not so sure. Like I wouldn't care about the 3/2 vanilla right now.
No.
But instead, yeah. Well, I guess you would tap the Heritage Druid and hope that Deathrite Shaman and Natural Sentinel are being sent at Garuk.
Okay, here is Quirion Dryad. Oh, sorry, Quirion Ranger.
Yeah. And now he finally gets to play his Galactic. Yay.
Okay. So there's the Galactic. Untapped Nettle Sentinel.
And another
With
fetch land.
Foothills means that Bartle is now Hellbent.
Yep. And Garuk gets to live. There's no suicide attacks.
No. So the beast holds back the other clowns quite successfully here. And here is Galactic.
Yeah, and this might be might become really close. Like once again, it depends on the top decks. If there is a land or two on Sebastian Bartle's deck, and Pierre Canali is drawing business, he might just run away with the game. Given that he top decks something like Creative Behemoth.
Galactic, as you can see, very hateful card indeed. Prevents all sorts of non-creature spells from being cast. Very, very fair card, you could say. Very fair card indeed.
It just says, I don't like non-creature spells being cast.
Yeah.
I'm in for creature combat.
Creatures only, mate.
Yeah.
Basic. Well, not quite only, but expensive creatures, non-creature spells are right out, as are X spells. But we've already seen Canali resolve, as you said, 4 of them, Patrick Dick.
Yeah. As I said, like
Opposition, Garrick, and the two Zeniths all would have been shut off here. Canali getting in for 2 with this Dryad Arbor, and then untapping it with the Garrick. Smart
let's
little
see if
attack
there's
there.
another play. Nope, just a land to go.
I think Canali is holding onto a land in hand.
Mm-hmm.
That's the read I have here.
Yeah, it might be.
Bartle goes fetching with his wooded foothills here, and gets a Dryad Arbor of his own.
Probably just wants as many attackers as possible.
Yes.
Because he's very shortly away from just alpha striking
Yeah.
and actually killing Canali.
I mean, that Deathrite Shaman is a clock in and of itself. There's
Well,
still
I think the graveyards are almost depleted. I think there's one Abrupt Decay
One
left,
Abrupt Decay,
and that's
yeah.
about it.
Yeah, actually, this matchup, not the one that
Yeah.
we're not going to be flooded with brainstorms, ponders, whatever
you're
else
not,
days is.
You're rarely going to be killing your opponent with Deathrite Shaman because both players they play very few spells, and Green Sun Zenith is rarely put into the graveyard.
Well, depends on who you're playing
Yeah,
against.
of course.
Canali checking on that card. Still not sure exactly which one it is here. Opposition activation. And again. And the nettle center stuff.
Yeah, I mean he's not. It's unlikely that Sebastian is casting any green spells in his combat phase. So I think it's safe to like tap the biggest creatures.
Canali just looking to save some damage here as we see the Dryad Arbor going to tap something else down. And Bartle, if he chooses to attack, we'll have to send something into that 3/3 beast.
You're probably tapping the Galactic, or well, like. What is it?
Where's it going to land? There it is. Special Rangers.
Well, I guess if he wants to kill Garruk, for example, he still has to attack with everything.
Yeah. And that means that the beast gets to eat something like, like the Teague, for example.
Yeah.
Or the Shaman, if Bartle's worried about that. So
I doubt that.
Interesting choice here. I like the way the Canali is manoeuvring here. I think this is really canny. I think it's very deliberate.
Yeah. He's been doing a good job in staying alive, but he definitely needs some more creatures, like some of his free creatures, as for example, Elfish Visionary or Coiling Oracle.
Yeah, the Coiling Oracle Wirewood Symbiote engine needs to get going here. We've seen zero of any of these cards so far, Visionary, Symbiote, or Oracle, because those cards would really turn things around. Well, actually, it might even be too late. We'll see. We'll see how things pan out here for Canali, but you definitely need a little bit of action there. Bartle has managed to sort of comfortably slide into a position of dominance here with the bigger board.
Yeah, this is also like why Canali was saying that the matchup is like very tough for him, because the elf deck is just better at putting more creatures into play, right? And it's very tough to fight against more creatures when you even if you have the opposition. I mean, you get to tap the best guy, but the elves are all like 1/1 or 2/2, so they don't really.
And that's the thing here. I mean, opposition with a flooded board of tiny creatures, really good against Gurmag Anglers, against Tarmogoyfs, against even stuff like Shardless Agent or whatever else. But you're absolutely right. When you're facing off a board of even more 1/1s, who are also threatening to go and get creative with Behemoth at any time. It's not the proposition it was before.
Yep.
So Bartle gets Canali down to 2 here.
And any spell in the graveyard is going to end the game, but he seems to not have that right now.
So Canali makes another beast here.
He needs at least 6 creatures.
I think he's drawn a...
Well, no. I think he needs at least 6 creatures, right? Or maybe he needs or maybe he has an Abrupt Decay.
Okay, there is a Dryad Arbor hanging out there, so 7 creatures on the side of Sebastian Bartle here. He draws.
It would be a very big blowout if he does have the Abrupt Decay, because then he would get to kill a lot of creatures. Well, that is Glimpse of Nature.
Glimpse of Nature's a nice one.
I mean, he's not casting any creature spells, but he's just going to exile Glimpse and deal the last
that's also a way to do
damage.
it. Yeah, that's also a way to do it there, yeah. Okay, alright. Discard this card, immediately exile it. There you go. Okay, so Canali goes down in the first game. Sebastian Bartle drawing the sorcery that he needed. And that's going to get him over the line there for game number 1. See what these players can find in their sideboards here. I mean, in this situation, often we see these symmetrical effects brought in against elves. The things like the perish, and these sorts of effects like that. But Canali won't be running any of them, obviously. But spot removal isn't at its best against elves. But you've got to find ways to contain their game plan.
It's Golgari Charm -1/-1 to all creatures.
All creatures,
Okay. I was talking about this before. I think it was Ruff in the booth with me. We were trying to find like sideboard cards that are good against elves, but that do not hinder Canali's game plan. But we were also having trouble to come up with a good plan.
It's really difficult. We'll see when we come back to game number 2. But right now we're going to move over to table number 2, where some of our other top 8 players are battling it out in their quarterfinal. Let's head over there now and have a look at David Cologne and Kevin Sauvageon Tell you what,
there's our Delver deck.
And here, okay, there we go.
Blue-red Delver.
Blue-red Delver. So one of the few that actually got all the came today, and one of them has actually made it all the way. So you can see there, Delver of Secrets, Price of Progress, Force of Will, Snap Custom Age. This is as close as we get to. Well, no, I guess there is a Legacy burn deck, but this is something of a burn deck as well in Legacy.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's probably like the most streamlined Delver deck. Straight up blue-red. You might be running some mana denial in the form of things like Blood Moon. And yeah, we just saw Price of Progress being taken away. I can see why, because that would be another 6 damage to the face.
Yeah, that's a real liability actually for the Eldrazi decks. I mean, one of the ways for the Delver decks to sort of shore up a little bit of that bad matchup there is to get them for 6, 8, 10 maybe if they're lucky with a Price of Progress.
Yeah, I wonder whether or not David is running Blood Moon, because Blood Moon is really good against Eldrazi. And like the Delver decks, they don't do so well against Eldrazi, mostly because of Chalice. But in Blood Moon, for example, you have a way to fight back. You're completely locking down the Eldrazi deck when there's a Blood Moon in play. Yeah,
the thing about the Blood Moon is, and I mean, many people are aware of this already, but for those who aren't, the Blood Moon doesn't just slow down the Eldrazi deck. Doesn't mean that the Thought-Knot Seers are coming down as a 4-drop.
Nope.
It means they're not coming down at all.
Yeah,
because it means that none of those lands
exactly
produce colorless anymore. So you can't cast your Reality Smasher.
Yep. I mean,
no way, no how.
I mean, some of the Eldrazi decks are running Waste, like actual Waste, because of this problem, and Waste is a basic land.
Yeah.
But if you don't have a Waste in play, you're not casting.
You have to draw it. That's the other thing. You can't fetch it. You can't fetch it. You have to draw it. No one's playing Evolving Wilds in Legacy.
Is there a Cavern of Souls in play? I mean, I don't know whether or not there are. There's a Cavern of Souls anyway.
So the old 1-2 punch of Thought-Knot Seer Reality Smasher. We've all been here before.
On turn 3 and 4.
Yes, that's how you do it.
And yeah, Kevin is thinking about his attacks right now, I believe. I mean,
he knows Kaloja's hand. After having seen it with the Thought-Knot Seer. So he's doing a bit of quick thinking here.
Yeah.
Sitting on, what did we see? We saw a Force of Will.
He's probably thinking about like whether or not he can attack safely with both creatures, because if that Delver flips, it's gonna be a lot of damage on the backswing. But
well, has a think about it, and in they come for 9. The best buddies.
It's understandable. It's a 2-turn clock after all. Oh, there is another
Price of Progress.
Yeah, so that might just be lethal on the spot. That is 8 damage to the face.
Jeez. A flip Delver means it's lethal, and basically any other spell. Well, we've seen what's in the hand, obviously. A Snap Custom Age. Yeah, of course, we saw that. There you go. So Kaloj, very handily picking up the second game. Price of Progress, getting it done, Patrick Dickman. Such a card.
Killing people since forever.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely getting people, yeah. And of course, we don't see basic lands in Legacy. We see
many.
Outside of, Death and Taxes, outside of Miracles.
Yeah, and some fringe decks
and
like Nick Fit, for example, but not many basics,
We can move back to table 1 now after having seen that very convincing end to game number 2 there. These guys will be going to game number 3, Blue-Red Delver versus Eldrazi.
One of my favorite decks, actually. Pure Delver.
Yeah.
I really like it.
Oh, Price of Progress all the way, mate.
Price of Progress is
anything
a fun
that
card.
punishes people for not playing basics. I mean, Blood Moon, I think, is my favorite card. It is so good.
Yeah, I also like Blood Moon, but I don't know, it's the feeling of like casting Price of Progress if the opponent has a lot of non-basic lands. It's just so, it's incredible.
Yeah.
2 mana, take 10.
They got Wastelands out and they start Wastelanding themselves. It's like, oh, mate, it's just such a good feeling. Absolutely. No, we're of one mind there, my friend. Pierre Canali here, after having picked up game number 1, he'll be looking to close it out in straight sets against Sebastian Bartel. We did say that Elves was going to be the favourite here.
I think Sebastian Bartel won the first game.
We've got that the other way around. That's right there. Sorry, we did mention the Elves was the favourite and managed to get up in game number 1. So we'll have that result fixed up because that match score needs to be switched around.
I think it was the one was for the last match because it's also incorrect. No, never mind. It's just a typo.
Just a typo. Yeah. There we go. Nothing fancy going on there. Pierre Canali looks like he might be taking a mulligan here. Could his dream run be coming to an end? He's had a fantastic tournament so far.
He's been having a good tournament, and I mean, his deck, it looks like a lot of fun to play. Maybe not so much for your opponent. If all,
No,
all your things are.
that's
turned
hardly the
into-
point of registering the card. The
Yeah.
registering opposition,
I
is
know,
it?
yeah. Like, be like,
Yeah.
yeah, opposition, tap everything, winter orb. Oh,
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah.
That was a nice game.
Thank you. Yeah, I really enjoyed playing this game of Magic the Gathering with you. Yes. So down to 6 cards by the look of things. Yeah,
Yeah.
6 cards for Canali here. Let's see what he can find. Green Sun Zenith. Looks like a Wayward Symbiote hanging out in there as well.
Finally, I haven't seen that one in a while.
No. Having a think about it. Jeez. Maybe our hand is no. Hand is.
Yeah, he's keeping it. He's
okay.
right.
It's all right. Having a scry here, and that one's going to go underneath. All right. So a bit of a shaky start for Canali. We'll see how he wants to navigate.
Well, I've been doing. I've seen his deck like grind like crazy. Like, if he gets his engines running, he's gonna come back from any like card deficit. Question is whether or not the elf deck is just too fast.
Yeah, sometimes we do see these crazy starts with elves where, you know, a turn 2 glimpse can end up with,
Yep.
you know, 1,000,000 cards drawn and 1,000,000 creatures on the battlefield. Here is a tropical island now for Canali. And it's Green Sun Zenith for one, so that's a nice way to recoup some lost tempo with that mulligan.
Yep, absolutely. You said you saw the Wirewood symbiote. Maybe there's also the coding oracle going with it, and we'll see.
We'll see, we'll find out. But Dryad Arbor is helping Canali power out that turn 1 Farseek here. And that's a nice start for him.
It's probably not Farseek because Farseek searches anything but a forest.
Oh yeah, that's right, yeah. Nearseek.
Yeah.
Here's Bartle now. And he's going to start with the Deathrite Shaman. So both players with pretty strong starts here. And a Bayou powering out the little elf that could. And let's see now how Canali's going to navigate his second turn here. Will we see the duo come down? Tropical Isle of the draw. Here it is.
There's
Coiling
Coiling
Oracle.
Oracle.
Oh, buddy.
There's Kratos Beam.
There's the
Probably
hoof.
not seeing that in a while.
No. Now, did I see a Wirewood Symbiote before? This is the question that I'm asking myself now. Because Tropical Island Symbiote.
Yeah, would sound like the line of play. I mean, he does not get to recast Coiling Oracle immediately, but
Here's the Trops.
I mean, maybe he wants to keep the symbiote because of Bartle's abrupt case. Like, he might still have it. I can see not playing the symbiote right now because it would just be exposed. I mean,
Yeah, it doesn't do a lot.
Yeah.
Well, the mystery continues. Bartle now with a Bayou. The Deathrite Shaman. Both these players playing their cards very close to each other. Look at that.
Yeah, that's
very,
right.
Very aggressive
Yeah.
permanent placement here.
The back alley knife fight.
Yeah, they're really getting up in each other's business, aren't they? Really getting nice and intimate
Yeah.
here. Here's Wirewood Symbiote for Bartle. And we're going to see the Verdant Catacombs belonging to Canali exiled in order for Bartle to make something. What's it going to be?
I don't know yet. Can't really see what he's holding. I mean, there's another Wirewood symbiote that I can see.
So an Elvish Visionary as well. Looks like Bartle's missing a land though. It's Symbiote number 2.
Yeah, probably.
Oh no! Oh, there we go. That's a very, very big land.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's a
all
very
right. Here we go. Yes.
It's a visionary.
Here's a Visionary. Draw a card. The difference between Gaia's Cradle and non-Gaia's Cradle situations
it's unreal,
is unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. So drawing a card off of the Visionary here. We've seen one symbiote get used already.
Yeah.
No? Thinking better of it, okay.
I think they're just using a dice instead of the black marker.
And we're going to see now another activation. Sorry, another trigger from the Elvish Visionary coming back in.
Yep.
And this is the stuff the Elves deck does. Doesn't look that impressive as you look at it, but
The next turn is the one that you
yeah,
got to be scared
that's
of.
where you get. That's where they get
Yeah,
you.
this is just setup.
So Canali now. He draws a card.
Yeah, unfortunately, his deck does not really deal with permanents being in play. Like you don't really kill them; you just tap down everything.
Yeah.
He's not going to be able to do that against elves.
No, and this is what we were talking about,
Yeah.
the fact that the Elves deck just goes over the top so much better. I think that out of these two decks, the Elves deck does... I mean, they're both trying to do a similar thing, and the Elves deck, I think, just does it better.
Yeah, absolutely. Like in the straight-up comparison.
That's right. Canali's deck is doing something else, you know, with the card opposition, whatever else, that is very powerful in a range of other situations. But here, it just sort of exposes the weak underbelly.
Yep, absolutely. Like
Calling Oracle now. Abrupt decay off the top.
I don't think that Canali has Wastelands in his deck list, so there's no easy way to deal with Chaos Cradle, and that card is just threatening to take over the game next turn.
Yeah, this is already, I mean, we're looking at 4 mana, and it's probably going to be so much more. Here's a guy's Cradle of Canali's own, however. We're going to see another Coiling Oracle.
Garruk.
Oh, it's Garruk. Here we go. Alright.
4 mana. I mean, Garruk of Chaos Cradle is really cool, but I don't know if there's anything busted that he can do like right now to like prevent his opponent from going off, because I can see a Lethal Kratos Behemoth coming next turn.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't take much now. I mean, Bartle's put himself in a very good position here, and this is only on turn 2 as well for him.
Yeah,
But this is how the pieces interlock.
He even chose not to untap the Chaos Cradle because he just does not have enough gas to like use the mana. Oh, thinks better of it.
Having a think about it before pulling the trigger on that one.
Maybe he's thinking about making a token. Yeah.
Okay, it's going to be a 3/3 here, yeah. The 3/3 that rules the ground once again. We've seen these 3/3s display utter dominance.
Yeah, not so much against Kratos Behemoth, but we'll see.
So, returning the Elvish Visionary to hand is Bartle.
Is there another Chaos Cradle in Bartle's hand? So does he get 2 activations? Like the far outright card? It might be. But yeah, it's tough to see. We'll see over the course of a turn.
I like the way he pulled it away, just as you were saying, is it that one? Is that, don't look at my hand.
Exactly at that moment,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Glimpse of Nature also in the hand of Bartle there. He's playing pretty close to his chest.
Yeah. Oh, there's also Glimpse of Nature in his hand. I wonder if there's a green incentive going along with it, because then he gets to play every single creature in his deck. Just gonna go for a Heritage Druid, and well, I guess he also needs another Sentinel or 2. We'll see.
Things looking pretty good though for Bartle here. We're gonna see, yep, it is Gaia's Cradle for 3 mana and a Glimpse of Nature. So, 2 mana remaining from the Cradle.
He seems to be lacking 1-drops, because I think he would have played any 1-drop.
Yeah, because it's basically free rent.
Second Glimpse
Double
of Nature.
Glimpse. Alright.
It's going to be a lot of cards being drawn.
So here is Glimpse of Nature. You can see whenever you play a creature spell, draw a card. So it's not when one enters the battlefield.
Yeah. Making room for a lot of new creatures to arrive.
Yeah.
Everything to the side.
Yeah. That's right. 1 mana.
It's the Visionary.
It's Visionary. Draw 3.
That sounds like a very fair card.
Yeah, it's not a bad
2
card.
2 mana, 1/1 body, draw 3.
Draw 3 cards. Pretty good. Okay, now Bartle plays. As you predicted, there is the next guy's Cradle. So he's going to be looking for 1-drops here.
And he gets to play another creature, probably, with the Deathrite Shaman and exiling the Cradle that he just put into the graveyard. Yep.
So any 1-drop here will draw another 2 cards. And it is Birchlaw Rangers here.
And now he gets to play probably another 1-drop, and yeah, this just goes on and on and on.
Draw 2 cards, but it's great to be able to see this. This is what, you know, it's good to be able to see the deck going off. Elves, when you look at it, it's a deck with all these interlocking pieces. Very difficult to see on paper what it does. 1 more mana added from the Birchlaw Rangers here. Another 2 cards.
Yeah, I just love doing this with Elves. It's just super funny.
Yeah.
Once
and
again,
already, let's not forget that guy's Cradle there. The trigger hasn't been pulled on that one just yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana now that it has.
I mean, what exactly does Birchlaw Ranger say? It just says tap 2 elves to get a mana. Right?
Yeah, that's right.
So he only had 1 untapped elf.
So we're going to return the Elvish Visionary to untap the Deathrite Shaman. That's one use of the Wirewood Symbiotes there.
Now he's got 2 untapped elves again. Because Symbiote is not an elf, right? It's an
Symbiote's no, it's
insect.
an elf. It's an
insect, right?
Insect, yeah.
I was just wanted to double check, but I was pretty convinced. Yep. Visionary again, draw
Visionary
3.
again, draw 3. So this is I think it's 10 cards now this turn. So 3.
1, 2.
Yeah, it's 10 cards.
6. Yeah.
And now 12.
Now it's 12. And there is Nettle Sentinel. Now we just. I think he's looking for heritage druids. Like they would come in really handy by now.
Yep. And after having drawn 12 cards, you'd think that they wouldn't be too far off.
Yeah, probably not. And he has the option to draw 3 more, and while still having a lot of mana to work with due to Birch Rangers.
15 cards now.
Maybe a little bit of a mistake at this point, because he could have tapped the Nettle Sentinel and have it untapped right away. So he would have tapped he pretty much missed half mana doing this.
So from our back tables, our defending Bazaar of Moxen champion, Karlinski, has won against Gary Mialare. So an Eldrazi deck makes it to the semi-finals, one of the 2 in the top 8. Karlinski, he's clutching on that title. He doesn't want to let it go.
Yeah, I mean, I saw him play a little bit, and he has not been doing any mistakes. Like I think he knows what he's doing with the Eldrazi's.
So 17 cards in total now. Quirion Ranger tapping the Nettle Sentinel, and we're going to see Heritage Druid. Okay.
Yep. Sebastian also caught on to tapping the Nettle Sentinel for Birch Rangers. Yeah.
Yep. So draw some more cards from the Heritage Druid here, and now we've got a lot of mana at stake. So 3 mana.
I mean, as soon as you find 2 Nettle Sentinels and the Heritage Druid, you pretty much draw your entire deck until you'll be playing Crowd Behemoth and just win on the spot. And this is exactly what we're seeing right now.
Quirion Ranger now.
I don't think that there's a way to stop this.
And 3 more mana, up to 5 now. After that Nettle Sentinel is tapped once again. We see the Nettle Sentinel untap with the Deathrite Shaman, and this is the elf deck going off. We're getting an unparalleled view into what it looks like here. It's fantastic. Bartle, as it stands now, can still make 3 mana, and this is not even including the activation of the last Nettle Sentinel. No lands left in the graveyards, however, for the Deathrite Shamans.
Nope.
So 7 mana.
And I think Sebastian already has the Crowd Behemoth in his hand, but he'll want to play some more elves on the way, and he'll want 3 to 4 Nettle Sentinels in play.
So they untap when the
so that they
down,
untap and get to kill your opponent immediately.
Okay, and we see now Elvish Visionary costs 2 mana, draws 3 cards, a reasonable deal. And Glimpse of Nature, what a card! 1, 2, and 3. The final Deathrite Shaman. So this is the point now. This is the choke point. There has to be at this point another Nettle Sentinel. There has to be something that Bartle can play here that's going to enable. Well, I think
this is just lethal already, because it's going to untap the Nettle Sentinel, and then Bartle will get to attack.
Oh no! Don't even need to untap the Nettle Sentinel apparently. Oh dear.
I think he needs to untap it to be lethal, but.
Oh dear. Well,
I mean, there's also the Wild
There's
Symbiote
also the Wild Symbiotes, yeah. They can also attack.
Yeah.
So each of these creatures getting 5, 10, 15, about plus 20, plus 20 something each, and there we go.
Yeah.
Pierre Canali not having any answers to that, and that's how we do it, and I'm really glad we got to see that. Unfortunately for Pierre Canali, the Pro Tour champion, his journey comes to an end here, but hats off to Sebastian Bartle, taking that down in really convincing fashion.
That was very impressive. I mean, that's just what the Elf deck does. You really need to go for the key creatures in the Elf deck, and that's just something that Canali cannot do, because he's not playing a lot of specific answers for creatures. So
no copies of Swords to Plowshares, no Dismembers, no Disfigures, no nothing like that.
Well, he's playing some spot removal, but not enough to compete with that.
No, I think the key word that we keep coming back to with this is containment. You've got to be able to contain the Elves deck somehow, and Canali's deck just not equipped to do that. And when we talk about it, when you line them up against each other, the Elves deck does the spew creatures into play and then hoof them much better than Canali's deck does.
Absolutely, and I mean, going for a glimpse of nature into a ton of creatures when there's no counter magic being played is just so much more powerful than like drawing 1 or 2 extra cards per turn with a Virefoot Symbiote and the Coiling Oracle.
Yeah, and there was no bottleneck. Well, there was no bottleneck for Pierre Canali to take advantage of there. Even had he had a Force of Will or something like that, the Elves deck just managed to enact its game plan and get it done. So well done to Bartle. He's in the semi-finals. We're moving on now to table number 2, where they haven't quite finished off their match. We checked in before with it, just as things were finishing off in game number 2 there. But let's have a look and see how things are panning out in game number 3. As we've got these two shuffling up and ready to go for the last game.
They are probably at 1-1 right now, right? Like we've been watching pretty long combo.
Yeah, I can imagine they're probably coming at 1-1 here. Oh no, this might even be some other players that have been moved on. I'm sorry about that. We're getting the numbers put up, but this is going to be our last match here. Whether we're looking at the quarterfinals. This player's shuffling up, getting ready. We'll see exactly how this one pans out. We will at least have one Elves deck, and we've already heard Anton Karlinski, the defending champion, is in the semis with his Eldrazi list.
Yep.
So at least one Elves deck, at least one Eldrazi list, and no opposition. No 0 copies of opposition.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
there was not many opposition copies to begin with.
No, and they've all been weeded
but
out.
it's single elimination for all decks from now on.
Yeah.
Because I think Eldrazi was the only deck that was where there were 2 copies.
Also, we may even be in the semi-finals already by the look of these two players here. If Karlinski's already won his quarterfinals, so look at that, whizzing ahead straight into our semi-finals here with Kevin Sauvageon and Anton Karlinski. As we said, Karlinski, the reigning champion, holding down the Bazaar of Mox and Legacy title. He'll be looking to defend that against Kevin Sauvageon, who is critically on the play here. Makes a big difference.
That's a very big difference, right? Like being on the play in such an aggressive matchup is definitely a huge thing. Also opens up nicely.
So we see an Endless One and an Eldrazi Mimic here. And Karlinski looks like he's playing Eldrazi Displacer. Something I wanted to chat to you about earlier when we were talking about the composition of these lists, Patrick Dickman. You've said, we sort of agree that maybe the best list hasn't been found yet. The people are still working on it, and it's a work of degrees, very small changes here and there. One of the cards you mentioned you weren't the hugest fan of was the Displacer. You prefer the Matter Reshaper instead of the Displacer, or was it the other way around?
I personally, I like the Displacer a lot.
Okay.
I think it's really good, but I was talking about modern, like modern Eldrazi,
okay, for sure.
But there's also there's always the Displacer in the deck, and I was debating whether or not to play Eldrazi Skyspawner or Metal Reshaper. But
in Legacy, though,
I really like Eldrazi Displacer.
And we see here Karlinski playing both of these cards here, Reshaper and Displacer there.
For example, Displacer gets to completely nullify Endless One. Like you flicker it and then it just dies.
It's a nice little thing. Takes care of Batterskull tokens as well, of course. Random upside against other parts of the format, I would suppose. Looks like we're going to take care of that Reshaper, though, with this Thought Knot Seer. And Sauvageon really... this is the start you want.
I was just about to say, this is... it doesn't get much better. I guess you don't want... the City of Traitors, but did he just exile the Siege Spirit Guide for no reason?
Yeah, just to show him that he could. That's a power play. What an intimidation move there. Just make a red. Yeah.
I was just about to say that this is probably the perfect start outside of having City of Traitors though. You don't want City of Traitors, but there's Walking Whale, attack for another 8 damage. I think the writing might be on the wall here.
Yeah, already in turn 3 here.
Yeah.
We've seen games end on turn 3. The Hoof in the Elves deck that we just saw finish, that was a turn 3 kill there. Very clean one as well. But Karlinski, look at this. Yeah, no plays.
Yeah, he's been keeping 2 Eldrazi Displacers, but without a white mana source.
Yeah. There's Warping Wild that took care of the Mimic, and that's that. Karlinski goes down in game number 1 just like that.
Yeah, I think maybe a little bit of a mistake to keep two Eldrazi displaces without a white source, because that is very dangerous. Like if you don't draw the white source very soon, you'll just be playing with a mulligan on 5 for a long time.
And they're not flush. I mean, the decks aren't huge on white sources, are they?
Mm-hmm. No, they're playing maybe like 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, I was going to say 8. I would think is the number that I'd land on there, but that is. Wow, that's just a complete savaging there by Kevin Sauvageon. We're going to stay here while these guys have a look at their sideboards. I can see Basilisk Collar, which is an interesting piece of technology here. Karlinski considering his other sideboard options.
I think there was a GTA being moved in, entering, or is this... is he taking cards out?
I think he may have done the mash the sideboard and the
I think so too. I was
deck
about to say,
together.
just put them all together.
Which is the best way to sideboard.
Yeah, I'm always too lazy to do it.
Yeah.
And it just takes so much time, in my opinion. But it's something nice to do in a quarter or semi-final.
No, see, I always do it. I always do it.
Yeah, I don't really like doing it when there's like time in the rounds.
Yeah.
Because then it's like just consuming a lot of time. At least if I'm doing it.
Yeah.
But if you're very fast.
I always do it.
Yeah,
I always do it. It's just I think it's just one of those things. It's like I always play with matching lands.
Yeah, I've once seen Saito do it, and that was like really impressive because he was playing sealed.
Okay.
And he had 2 sealed decks.
Jeez,
he had 2 sealed decks, right?
Yeah.
He just put both of them together.
Yeah.
And like went through some of the top cards, threw them out, and sorted some of the cards, threw some more cards out, and after like 2 minutes.
But he's like half a machine, so it doesn't really.
That was just incredible.
That's
I've never
insane.
seen something like
I
this
could
again.
never do it sealed like that. But no, I started doing it after seeing the way Alexander Haynes sideboarded after he won Pro Tour Avacyn Restored.
Oh, I haven't seen it. What happened?
Well, he just mashed his things together, went through like a machine, tossed it out like that, and I was like, oh, that's the way you do it.
Yeah,
that's how the pros sideboard.
Okay. He probably like prepared for it the day before, and he knew exactly how he would be sideboarding, so he just went for the moves.
So it looks like Karlinski's happy to take out some, at least one Endbringer, some Endless Ones there as well. Oh no, the Endbringer's coming back in, okay.
Yeah, I like the Endbringer.
I think it's a good mirror breaker here.
I think so too. Like, it can happen that you just end up in sort of a board store where you like both can't attack profitably anymore. For example, Fortnite is always going to be eaten by Reality Smasher, things like that.
Yeah.
And so Endbringer is a nice way around that.
Chalice of the Void coming out rather obviously in addition to those Endless Ones. No Pithing Needles either. Pithing Needle an awkward one, really. You can't really name anything without hamstringing yourself.
Well, I was about to say that, you're also hindering yourself.
And looks like Sauvageon is also happy with his deck's configuration, so these guys are going to get underway with some shuffling.
They might both have like access to some dismembers, something like that, like something for the mirror for sure. But dismember is like the most obvious solution to kill big creatures, and not much else that I can think of right now. Maybe a few game-breaking Eldrazi.
Excuse me. We'll see how things shake out now as these guys are mixing up their spaghetti and going to serve up a dish of pain to their opponents here. Red hot live action shuffling coming your way from Strasbourg. It's always a joy to watch. The deft, artful fingers of these opponents here.
At least they haven't been pile shuffling.
We saw one pile shuffle for Sauvageon, which is acceptable. The single, you do it once to count. Exactly, yes. That's right. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes, I was actually reading about this, about the sort of the necessary preconditions for a deck to be considered sufficiently randomized, and apparently a 60-card deck, it's 9 overhand mash shuffles is enough.
Yeah, I was also reading about that. Like after the discussion about like a player forgetting to shuffle his deck every now and then, I was also interested in like how often you need to shuffle
for consider
a deck randomized. Yeah, it was interesting.
So 9 is apparently the mathematical answer. If you've got a 60-card deck, you need to shuffle it 9 times. And certainly something that I have to be honest, it did make me change my technique. I now shuffle 9 times at least. So these players as well. They've randomized the decks and they're ready to go.
I think that is just when you're starting the game. After that, it's already considered randomized, and the competitive rules say that you, like, if you're, for example, shuffling your opponent's deck, you have to shuffle 3 times.
Yeah, right. Okay.
But it's a little confusing.
But that's what I mean at the beginning of the game. Yeah, at the beginning of the game, at least 9.
let's see what Anton is working with. I believe I've seen Eye of Yugin and an Eldrazi Temple.
So that's a much better start for Kalinske here. We'll see if Savajon has something to answer with.
I think there's Eldrazi Displacer again without white mana, so that's not good.
He's a sucker for punishment.
Yeah.
He's going to take his licks. It's going to be Eldrazi Temple on turn number 1 here for Kalinske.
No play though. There's another Eldrazi Temple, so he's in for some big mana plays. Let's see if Kevin will allow that to happen.
What has Savajon got here? Wasteland. Okay. We'll slow you down a little bit here.
That's reasonable. I mean, he has a lot of replacements, so he probably doesn't really care. But Wasteland can be very backbreaking for the Eldrazi deck.
Iovugin's going to power out this Eldrazi Mimic here. Savajon now for his second turn. I can see an Ancient Tomb, and it looks like that's going to be the one that sees play here. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Down to 18 for Savajon here. And it's going to be now...
Probably Mimic.
Mimic, Endless one perhaps?
Yeah, Endless one or Mimic. Oh, Warping Well.
Oh, Warping
that's
Well
right.
as well, okay.
That's also in the deck.
Exiling the Eldrazi Mimic. I'm a bit surprised to see it there.
I was
the
about to
only
say
real
that.
use for it.
Yeah, it's the only real use. I mean, he found a use for it. Gotta kill Eldrazi Displacer, but
There's a Displacer.
Eldrazi Mimic, still.
So the Cavern of Souls acting as a nice little white source there for the Displacer. Oh, and the Cavern of Souls naming Eldrazi. Kalinske being very helpful there. Thanks for that, old mate. Saving us the trouble of asking. And it's Cavern of Souls for Savajon as well. He doesn't draw a huge big sign for it. Oh, maybe he will. No. So we're going to see a 3-drop, but it's Matter Reshaper.
I think there is another Displacer and another Eye of Yugin. Not what you want to see.
Here's 5 mana though. Oh, tapping the Iovugen as well.
Yeah. Well, that's the wrong way.
No,
If you
hasn't quite got there, but
Yeah.
Reality Smasher getting in there for 5.
Yeah, doesn't really matter, I guess, but still.
And Savajon really under the gun here. 11 on 11
yeah.
already.
That Reality Smash is. I mean, Reality Smash is just a very good creature, especially if played on turn 3.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sort of turn 3 because Wasteland just took a turn from both players.
Yeah, it's funny the way that Wasteland affects the game's dynamic like that, isn't it? But the Smasher getting in there for 5.
I mean, Eldrazi Displacer is going to make blocks really, really tough because like you cannot just play your own Reality Smasher and hope for it to block because Anton is just gonna flicker it, have it re-enter the battlefield tapped, and in he comes for 5.
And this is what we're talking about here now with Savajon wanting to line up some blocks. Not going to be able to. Even the 4/4 plus the 3/2 together aren't going to hold off the Smasher because we can see now. And this is a hand that you don't mind having a Thought-Knot Seer cast against you with. I mean, it'd be nice to hold on to that Dismember. Actually,
yeah, I was about to say taking Dismember still a pretty good hit, but he might just be too far behind on the board. I mean, what's he gonna do against Displacer exiling a creature every single turn? I mean, I guess if he gets to play one more creature, he will be able to hold the 4, but it has to be a good one.
So away goes the Dismember, leaving Kalinske with Displacer and Eye of Ugin in hand.
And also not to forget the Ancient Tube that is nagging at Kevin's life total.
Yeah, that's the other thing as well. I mean, that's been a pretty big chunk already, taken 6 life off for Savajon.
This is not lethal yet, but Anton just drew Ancient Tomb, so he can bring Kevin down to 1, and he'll leave him with 2 mana because he can't use the Ancient Tomb anymore.
Yeah, it's a great point there. So
this is probably what I would be doing. I mean, I'll be sitting at 18, having 8 power in play, threatening to just exile 2 blockers again.
There's the Ancient Tomb.
But he thinks better of it, just decides to attack with the 5/5. I think I would have attacked for 8 though. Like, I can't see any possible line that kills me if I'm on 18.
And the block here now with the Matter Reshaper, and Kalinske's happy to just let things go the way that they are.
It is Eye of Yugin.
And we'll see Displacer number 2 now. So Savajon with a lone Thought-Knot Seer on 6 life.
This should probably be it. I can't think of any card that brings him back into the game here. At least not any card that is being played in the Eldrazi deck. Bridge from the, not Bridge from the, Ensnaring Bridge.
Ensnaring Bridge.
that probably won't be played in this deck.
No, I wouldn't imagine so.
Yeah. But he can cast it.
So Savaggio once again here. Kalinske really sniffing at it, wanting to equalise, and manages to do so as well. There you go. That was a really, I mean, you know, the tables turned. This time it was Kalinske on the play, and he got there in very convincing fashion after, you know, just playing just a few of his cards.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we can see a pattern here. Like the one who was on the play won in very convincing fashion.
Yeah, it's often the case with these decks, and it does make a huge difference who's kicking things off, and we'll see if that pattern holds true for game number 3 as these players get ready for that. We'll check back in because it's time to have a look at our second semi-final back on our first table here.
It's going to be Elves against
our other winner.
We don't know yet. Yeah.
So let's go across and have a look now.
Johannes Gutbrot.
On Miracles.
On Miracles.
That's right. We've already checked in with Goodport earlier on, so he's playing Miracles. One of the 2 Miracles players in the top 8. Well, a well-represented archetype here. Goodport already well underway in this one. Unfortunately, playing creatures or lands in front of spells, which is always problematic.
We might be joining the game at a point where Elves is winning right now, though. I mean, I don't know if this attack is lethal already, but it should be. Creator of Behemoth is 5/5 by itself, right? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 10 creatures. There's 5 creatures, so that would be 10.
Yeah.
And another 7, so it would actually be just 17.
Another 7?
If the Nettle Sentinel untaps.
Ah, right.
I don't know why it's not untapping right now.
Ah, look at that, yes. Oh, the Judge Arena saving everyone's lives by taking things around. The true heroes. The true heroes, absolutely. Poor old Goodport.
Sebastian already missed the untap on the Nettle Sentinel in the last match I was about to say, but this time he catches on to it.
Gets there, and you can see that this might have been the point out of contention, but we do have a Goodport down to 1 here. And it's a Terminus off the top, so lucky.
Yeah, he probably knew about it.
He seemed to just be so confident that it was going to be Terminus. He's like, well, I can only draw Terminus, I got to flip. So lucky.
Well, he has a top in place, so
I would probably guess. Yes, that is probably my guess as well.
It would be a very nice move if
he
didn't know about it.
He didn't even untap the
Tundra. But then he probably would have used upkeep, Sensei's Divining Drop.
Yes, he didn't even. It was probably part of the plan for Goodport. So there we go. Things equalise now on the battlefield at least, but the life total still miles apart here.
Yeah, and I know that there's a creature coming back at the end of Johannes Gutport's turn. It's going to be dried up off of them. Would have put it was just played. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very important, of course, because the Terminus has tucked it under the bottom of the library.
Yeah.
So Bartle will have the option of fetching it back out. Goodport is more than aware of this, surely.
Yeah, of course.
So he's only playing with 3 lands. So
he's been missing a land drop already. Well, I guess he did not have the luxury to search for a land when he was staring about 15 power on the opposing side.
Yes, yes, and now all of his fetch lands also will not be able to find anything as well.
Just a blocker. I can imagine that last card being Abrupt Decay, because I think he would have played anything else, and it does make a lot of sense that this last card is either land or Abrupt Decay on Sebastian's side.
Goodport now with the Sensei's Divining Top plays a Volcanic Island and says go. After the upkeep top here, it's now Bartle's turn. See if he wants to fetch up his Dryad Arbor.
I would guess so.
Looks like that. Well, we're going to see something fetched up anyway. Oh, yeah, it's under there, he says. Oh, of course, yeah. I know where it is.
Where it is.
Yeah, give me that. There it is, Dryad Arbor. Trying to do the old economical, just search the top half of the deck.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, come on.
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, wait a minute. I know exactly where it is. And there it is, the Dryad Arbor, just the 1/1. That's going to be enough, though. A lethal attacker presented to Goodport, so he'll be priced into a block if Bartle wants to trade these off here. But I mean, the Elves deck is not short on 1/1s.
No, it's definitely not.
Definitely not. There are any number of them in the list here.
Yeah. I mean, Johannes might be holding a lot of counter spells, and then the 1/1 might actually be enough. But yeah, I did not get to see his hand yet.
3 or 4 cards in it.
Yeah, so he might also have a removal spell. We'll see.
Bartle now as well with a couple of cards, and he
Pendlehaven.
finds a Pendlehaven.
That's a pretty nice one, actually.
That is very good, actually,
Yeah.
because it prevents the Dryad Arbor from trading.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that, the attack. In it comes. Let's just have a quick look at Pendlehaven here. It says Goodport. It gives a 1/1. It does not only does it add a green mana, it also gives a 1/1 creature +1/+2. A staple in Infect decks, of course.
Yeah, of course. Got to sequence your spell, your triggers nicely with things like Exalted, but certainly a very powerful spell.
Snapcaster Mage.
It is Snapcaster Mage. Might force a double block there.
I think we are going to see the double block. It's targeting the
Brainstorm, I believe.
Brainstorm by the look of things. And now it's up to Bartle to find a follow-up play. It doesn't.
Yeah, I think that card might just be land. Or, like, we just saw him generate a lot of mana, probably play a lot of creatures before Terminus was played, and he already was holding that card at that point.
Yeah.
So I don't think that this is nature. What's the name? Rule of Nature.
Natural order.
Rule of Nature. Natural order. Yeah.
Oh, and Jace the Mind Sculptor here for Goodport. So this is a big step towards him trying to clinch a foothold into getting back into this game. Brainstorm every turn is going to be a big help here. Bartle, you can see a little bit. I mean, he's really, this is his chance.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, it's not, because he needs to draw a card. He needs to.
Yeah, I mean, there's not many creatures with haste in
No,
this deck.
there's 0
so,
creatures with haste apart from the Greater Hoot Behemoth. So, yeah, this was that Jace is going to really put a huge spanner in the works here. Let's have a look at Jace the Mind Sculptor. Of course, the greatest Planeswalker ever printed, one of the greatest cards ever printed in the entire history of this game that we all know and love. 4 abilities on it, only one other Planeswalker with that boast. I guess 2 if you count Arlene Cord.
Yeah, I guess, but it's a little different because she's flipping
She's
back and forth all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
only got 2 abilities.
That's
Get out
cheating.
here, Arlene.
Yeah.
Jace the Mind Sculptor again. A powerhouse in Legacy. We've seen him drop off in numbers in recent years.
Well, I think at this particular tournament he might actually be at a high because there were so many Shardless players.
Yeah, that's
they are also
true.
running.
Although the split is very interesting in the Shardless decks because the split is often between Jace and Liliana, and there's any number of between 3 and 6
Yeah.
of them total,
Yeah,
and
that's
sometimes
right.
the split is like 4-2, sometimes it's 3-1, sometimes it's 1-2, whatever. And it's not a guarantee like it used to be.
Absolutely.
We used to see these blue-based decks that just automatically ran 3 or 4 Jace.
The problem is Jace doesn't line up very well against Reality Smashers.
That is a big part of it,
Yeah.
I imagine. Yeah. So, Goodport now drawing. We're going to see another Fate Seal. Look at this, very aggressive Fate Sealing here. Oh, and isn't that just the worst feeling in the world?
Yeah, it's always a very bad
They
feeling.
take
I mean,
one
like,
peek at it,
Yeah.
leave it on the top, and okay.
Yeah, there's the Bayou.
There's a play by you. Yeah, okay.
I mean, I like it. I like the way he's navigating this. Like just fate sealing, going for the ultimate.
Yeah.
That's just his easiest line to win.
Yeah,
I
and
like
this
that.
is it comes back to that tenet that we talk about when you're ahead, you play conservatively, and when you're behind, you play aggressively. And right now, Goodport has to end this game quickly. He's on 1 life.
I mean, I'm betting that that his hand is featuring at least some sort of permission, because otherwise you will probably still be brainstorming.
All right.
But if he knows that he can answer the next 1 or 2 threats, then fate sealing is a nice way to quickly end the game.
Glimpse of nature here for Goodport. For Bartle.
Yeah.
See what Goodport has to, in the way of a response, if anything.
There's Briarwood Symbiote in Bartle's hand. I saw that one. I don't know if there's another creature in his hand though.
Goodport really thinking about it here. And it might be actual literal counterspell by the look of things here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my guess. Shoot from the hip. Nope, snap custom
Snap
mage.
custom mage.
Oh, I was half right.
Counterspell in the graveyard. Yeah.
Actual literal counterspell,
Yeah.
cast from the graveyard. So now good board with a blocker as well. Surprise, 3 snap custom mages as well. Often we see 1 or 2.
Yeah, that's quite a lot. I mean,
quite a
I
few.
love snap custom mage. I'm fine with
Mate.
with playing snap custom mages.
Terminus off the top.
There's another terminus. Yeah.
Okay. So Bartle's still not moving that Wirewood symbiote. Oh, there it goes.
There it
Yep,
goes.
yep. Take care of that. And now up goes Jace again. This is an absolutely miserable way to lose a game of Magic.
Yeah,
But,
it's very frustrating.
But Bartle is taking it on the chin here. I mean, this is just game number 1 here between these two players. So there's still time enough for him to come back. But good board thinking about this one. Interesting. It's always funny when your opponent pauses.
Yeah.
You never really know quite what to make of it.
Yeah. I wonder what this card was.
Yeah. Well, we're going to find out as it's now Bartle's turn to draw. He finds something and immediately he's tapping 2
Sounds
mana.
like, it looks like a visionary,
Oh,
which is
mate,
really nice.
you got a bloody visionary for that.
Yeah, I mean, there's not
Funny.
many creatures for 2 mana in the deck.
So smart. Too smart for me. Counterspell now. Actual literal counterspell, meaning that visionary is not going to resolve. And we're going to see Jace is just 1 more activation away.
I wonder why Goodwood played Snapcaster Mage the last turn. I think he just wanted it out of his hand because it is a 4-mana counterspell, right? He kept on to the actual counterspell because he just wanted to be like more flexible.
Yep. Yeah, that makes sense.
Because he knows that he's like aiming for the Jace ultimate.
Yeah, that's the way that he's
So
gonna
he
win
just
this
wants as much mana to work with as possible in the critical turns.
So Goodrot now with another pause here as he thinks about what's where this card's going to end up, bottom or top. And it looks like we're going to see now. Alright. Jason, 13 loyalty. That's a lot of loyalty.
Also takes a lot of time to get in, to get him have 13 loyalty, but his ultimate is usually game ending.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of game ending loyalty, I mean game ending ultimates, that doesn't. Poor jeez.
I mean, you've been fate sealing your opponent all the time. You only got to keep the bad cards.
Yeah.
And then you're going to take all these bad cards and put them into your deck. And be like, yeah, this is your deck from now on. The rest is exiled.
Reclamation Sage now. You're going to see top activated in response. And
And we just found out that Kalinski is still going to trying to defend his title.
And Swords to Plowshare is going to end that game as well. And was that a mattress on? We did see a handshake there.
Yeah,
So
I think it might have been the match.
that might have been the match there for Johan Goodboard. So miracles against Eldrazi maybe. We've got confirmation that, as you said, that Kalinski did win his semi-final. So the defending champion will be in the top table. So obviously managed to break serve there and win on the draw. But as for this game here, after a Jace ultimate, very exciting stuff as Bartle goes down. No, it looks like it was just the just the game 1 handshake?
I think it might have just be like very well played, something like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just the game 1. We're all big fans of the game 1 handshake here.
Yeah.
It looks these guys hit their sideboards. Okay, all right.
You rarely get to see that.
Yeah, it's a rarely seen treat. Doesn't often happen in the wild.
So, I'll be leaving you for now.
So Patrick Dickman stepping out of the booth now as the Pro Tour Hall of Famer Raphael Levy joins us. Raph, great to have your company once again today.
Oh, hello.
We've just seen a Jace ultimate while Johan Gutbrod was languishing on 1 life. He managed to get his Jace all the way up to 13 loyalty and end the game for poor old Bartle, who had attacked with a Crater Hoof Behemoth, but it wasn't enough. We don't often see that either.
I didn't know Miracles played a languishing on 1 life. Anyway.
I feel like that one needed a little bit more time in the oven.
I'll work on it a little more.
Yeah. They'll let that one prosper a little bit. But here we have it. All Miracles right. Versus Elves.
Catch me up on the other matchup. Is it Eldrazi against Eldrazi?
Eldrazi versus Eldrazi, a shock result, a surprise result. So hold on to your butts because I'm going to tell you now that Eldrazi won.
The first match. The first game?
The first game and the second game, and the third game was also actually won by Eldrazi as well. Okay. So we do have an Eldrazi player in the final, and it's Karlinski, our reigning champion.
So is he going to play for his?
He's playing for back. He's playing for back to back. He's going to do He's going to Shahara.
Do you have his deck list? Is it the same as the one he played in?
I haven't been able to put the two of them side by side. It'll be interesting to see if the changes that were made, if any. I mean, obviously Karlinski is onto a good thing and he knows it. He's very happy to take down these tournaments just like that with this list. So it'll be interesting to see if he's made any changes in the intervening month or so. But yeah, becoming a real scourge at the tournament, isn't he? Real name to be feared, Rafael Levy.
Karlinski, that's the name.
That's the name that spreads fear into the hearts of his enemies. That's right. So good Prot and Bartle here. I like the Miracles deck against the Elves deck because of things like Terminus, because of things like Swords to Plowshares. But I mean, we saw just before in game number 1 the fact that the Elves deck is able to put pressure on early, and sometimes Miracles doesn't have what it takes to slow it down.
It has so many ways to deal with Elves. Terminus is just so good.
Yeah.
Like it's all the way when you play Elves against Miracles, you have to play it as waves. You play the first wave. If it doesn't get there, you need to have the second one ready.
Yeah.
With a glimpse of nature, or something to come back after Terminus. It's very hard to survive 2 of them.
Yeah, that's really true. I mean, we've seen. It was only a few minutes ago that we saw Sebastian Bartle in his quarterfinal with a huge glimpse of nature turn on turn 3 and won the game out of just smacked it out of the park. And you do need that sort of stuff against the Terminus decks. You need to be able to basically refuel in a way that no other deck can. I mean, there isn't a better glimpse of deck nature apart from Elves, and it does what it does best. And you've got to be able to do it against Miracles, and often you've got to be able to do it twice.
Yeah. Unless you can win on the turn, but it's pretty hard.
Yeah.
And also, Miracles has Swords to Plowshares.
And this is the thing.
This is good. Swords is. They have a lot of elves, but if you kill the one that makes a lot of mana,
yeah, the the Heritage Druid can be a real pressure valve, I guess. To it does have a bit of or the Wirewood Symbiote as well has got a bit of a target painted on it.
It also depends on the Miracle version. If they play Swords and Snapcaster Mage, that's it's a lot of ways to
kill
a lot
1
of ways
to
one,
continue to disrupt,
to trade 1 for 1, and just waiting for a Terminus, and then you set up your win.
So while this is going on, we do also have the Bazaar of Moxen Standard going on. The Standard final is actually underway right now, and Elliot Bousson is in that final. I know his deck has been featured on the stream throughout the day today. He's playing a blue prison deck. Based around, I think it's
Martin Mueller played it in GP Manchester. He played the mono blue version. Frank Karsten took it over, added black to it for Silumgar and Silumgar's command. He did pretty well in GP San Jose in Costa Rica. And Elliot is playing another twist. He's not playing black, he's not playing mono blue, he's playing blue with a splash of white for Narset. And the Planet Wardburst in the sideboard.
Yeah, and the Rots in the sideboard as well. So obviously it's done well for him as he finds himself all the way into the finals. Also playing Thing in the Ice, so you know that card's very close to my heart. Basically describes my heart. Yeah, Thing in the Ice. Yeah. Is that where you were going with that? Yeah, I beat you to it again.
Is that your heart, the ice, actual ice?
I guess so.
Yeah.
No, my heart's still warm inside there somewhere in that big chunk of frozen ice. Deathrite Shaman off a Cavern of Souls, starting the game off for Bartle here. And we're going to see
Swords
Swords
we
of
talked
Plowshares.
about.
Absolutely not interested in that, says Goodrod. No, get that guy out of here. So away goes the Deathrite Shaman. And Bartle now reloads. Draws a card. In his hand, I can see not much actually.
Do you think Johannes kept the Force of Will?
Give the Force of Wills in against elves?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
That's not something I like to keep against elves. That's a topic that comes back every time, every bomb.
Yeah.
The Force of Will topic.
Against, yeah.
Do you keep Force of Will against decks like this?
Well, right now Bartle's in the middle of resolving his Greenstone's Zenith. He's going to get a Deathrite Shaman, and you see that Wooded Foothills helping to power out that Zenith there. Abrupt Decay in the hand of Bartle, in addition to at least one Pithing Needle. Pithing Needle will have been brought out of the board. A very useful card against Miracles.
So the only reason I would keep, I would play Force of Will off the board against elves, is to play around cards like
Natural Order.
Choke.
Or Choke. Okay.
A Natural Order as well.
Natural Order's the reason.
But you have other ways to deal with these cards.
Yeah.
I'd rather have a Disenchant than a Force of Will.
Okay.
Like Natural Order, you still have Terminus. You can,
Yeah, it still
if
kills
they
with
play-
Progenitus, yeah.
If they play Progenitus,
Yeah.
We've seen Julian now not playing Progenitus anymore.
Yeah.
So it's not really that much of a. I don't think they play that anymore.
No, it's they're certainly moving away from it.
Yeah.
The sort of the glass cannon combo side of the deck seems to be on the downswing. And now it's up to Goodpod to see what he's going to do with his second turn. It's a Ponder.
Passes the turn with. Is he passing the turn?
Plays a
I saw a little.
Looks like Sebastian.
Yeah,
Bard
yeah,
is
he was
just
busy.
He's freshening up
I
that
can't. I
breath.
can't do everything. I can't get a candy. I can't tap and play my turn.
It's so important that you got to have that fresh breath. Got to have that minty fresh breath.
To cast your spells.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That sounds like a Mentos.
Mendel's that?
Yeah.
I think he was eating Wix there. Today's stream sponsored proudly by Wix. For all your fresh breath magical needs. Oh jeez. Maybe we'll get some free Wix now. That'd be good. Three, four mana. Okay.
Ooh, what is it? Four mana.
Is it a natural order? Are we going to see a natural order? No, it's Garrick Relentless. All right. This is a nice way to pressure the Miracles deck here.
It's going to be a brainstorm, I think.
So cracking the Scalding Tarn here.
Maybe not brainstorm, because maybe he would have sequenced it differently. A nice one. Nice, better. Walk cannon.
So Volk, yes, fetched out of Goodbrod's deck here.
So why Garrick? Garrick is good.
Garrick's good
because
for a range of
dodges.
reasons.
It kind of dodges the counterbalance.
Yep. Yep, and it's very good as well outside of this matchup because it dodges Abrupt Decay.
Yeah.
Really important distinction here. We're seeing we've seen a resurgence in 4-drops in the Legacy format with cards like this. Ren runs Packmaster in Elves as well. Other stuff outside of that, these cards that dodge. I mean, it is the lightning bolt of Legacy, really. Abrupt Decay, I would say.
Okay.
Well, what's the best removal spell in Modern?
In Modern?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you expecting me to say Bolt?
Yeah, because it is
Okay,
lightning bolt.
lightning
It's
bolt,
lightning
yeah,
bolt,
okay.
and Abrupt Decay I think is just as omnipresent here. And it has a rider just like lightning bolt does, and 4 toughness in Modern is a bit like 4 casting cost in Legacy, I would say.
So is there any Wolfie?
Yes, the old Wolferino coming down 2/2 Wolf for the from the Garrick Relentless here, and here's a counterbalance for Goodport. Once again playing his lands in front of his spells. Been asked about it a couple of times now. You need to have a listen, mate. Open up those ears. It's not the done thing anymore. Adrian Sullivan saw fit to that at Pro Tour Dragons of Tarkia. And once again, the judge there to save the day.
Save the day. No, I like that. I like that very old school.
Yeah?
Adrian Sullivan is not doing it like that.
He doesn't do it anymore.
Well, he like.
Oh,
it
he
was
plays
the
them
other
upside
way
down.
around.
Yeah, but that's what prompted the policy change for Wizards. I was there when we talked about it. It was a very good conversation. There were some very strong opinions, some very correct strong opinions put forward.
I have to say it was a little. It
It's
was.
super tilting.
Yeah, it was.
It's super tilting. There's no need for it. Might as well bloody wear a big sombrero and play your cards on top of your head. So there's a 2-2 Wolf now for the Garrick. Goodport has managed to resolve his counterbalance, but it's maybe too late here because Garrick's going to be spewing out those puppies all day long.
No, it's not. It's not too late. Come on.
Well, it's too late for the counterbalance to counter,
yeah.
to counter something like that.
Yeah, but it's not too late for the Miracle players. Miracle.
He's four more mana.
Armageddon.
Armageddon out of here, says
that's-
Sebastian Bartel.
That's the card. That's
I
the
tell
card.
you what. So unless there is a Jace the Mind Sculptor on top of Goodport's deck, this could be huge trouble.
Okay, let me get back to my statement about Force of Will. I
Please
would
continue.
definitely keep Force of Will in that matchup. Like this
100%.
Disenchant,
Never keep it.
Disenchant is not too good against Armageddon and Garrick.
Oh, jeez. All right. What's Goodport got? He is fetching.
Oh, he can be brainstorming now.
He could brainstorm. Yeah. Maybe he's got a spell pierce.
I don't think he keeps spell pierce against elves.
Well, you never know. Well, you up to a moment ago, Mr. Turncoat Raphael Levy, you were taking out your forces of will.
Yeah, well, I definitely don't have spell pierce.
Well.
Armageddon is a backbreaker.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see.
Face breaker too.
Backbreaker, face breaker, everything breaker, brainstorm. Obviously, Goodport has kept in his forces here, and he's desperately looking for one.
No, he's gonna put the Jace on top.
Oh, is there a Jace?
I don't know. It might be.
A Jace in his hand
You know
would
what?
also do
You know a
it.
card I like in this situation. In this situation,
Boros Champ.
it's a Venser.
Venser.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because it's 4 mana.
Yeah.
And it bounces like some cards that.
I mean, you don't have to do very much to talk me into playing Venser, but I agree with that here. I mean, it's so good against such it gets you out of some. It's a nice little reset button.
Well, here it will save the day because it's 4 mana.
Mm.
Well, just as just like I don't know, well, any other Hill Giant.
Yeah.
It's 4 mana, but otherwise it couldn't help you.
Hitogutsu second right.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a Jace the Mind Sculptor. Can't believe it's so lucky after that brainstorm. Wow. Unfortunately for Bartle and the viewing public, I would say as well, we're not going to see the lands being blown up here. I'm surprised by that. Goodport took a long time to rearrange that pile.
Well, it depends what the card
Underneath
the
it
trace
is,
yeah,
yeah.
underneath the trace.
So Armageddon is countered. You hear the collective sigh of misfortune go around the world, and it's windswept heath now. Man, that would have been bananas. Especially given the follow-up play of Windswept Heath and the Deathrite Shaman on board as well. Jeez.
Cheapest.
Jeepers creepers. Where'd you get those peepers?
That was a good movie. I like that movie.
Why would Symbiote now?
To save the Deathrite Shaman in case Terminus happens.
In case there's a Terminus off the top. Jace is the draw for Goodport here.
So there was not Terminus on the top.
No.
Sword setting up the Terminus.
Away goes the Wild Symbiote.
On 16 life, he still has Johannes has maybe two or three turns.
So Bartle now in for 4. Gets Goodport down to 12. Makes another wolf. And ships it straight back. I want to turn this off the top. There you go.
Yeah, we were.
No, one of us was talking about a terminus off the top just before.
I kind of expected that.
Oh, I mean, it's interesting that Goodport didn't immediately shuffle with the Flooded Strand to play the Jace there, so it sort of indicated that something was going on, and no surprises there to see the Terminus. So that's going to reset
especially with the swords.
Yeah, very aggressive deployment of that Swords to Plowshares there off the Wirewood Symbiote. Away go the Wolves.
But still 1 for 2. It's not too.
And Abrupt Decay on the counterbalance.
That would have been sick.
And you saw their good port revealing the Swords to Plowshares. I think just looking to see what the top card of his library was to see if he wanted to draw it or not.
Oh well, if he had yeah, that's right.
A 2-drop wouldn't have countered the Abrupt Decay in any case.
It cannot be countered. Cruising Grip can be countered.
Oh, and we've got a Morph, a Morpherino here.
Dear Hermit.
What could it be?
A Hermit?
No, well, it could be. Could be anything.
Well, it could be
Scornful Egotist, perhaps.
A Den Protector.
Could be a Den Protector.
Could be a
Ponyback Brigade.
Oh, yeah, that would be good. Soul Collector.
It could be a Soul Collector. Could be a Grim Haruspex.
A thief. Fortune Thief.
Could be a Fortune Thief.
Yeah.
It could be a Fortune Thief. Could be a.
Are you done?
No, the Lifelink Angel.
The Lifelink Angel.
Exalted Angel. Could be Exalted Angel.
Vesuvian Doppelganger.
Look, you're going to win this competition, all right? I'm just going to concede in a timely fashion. So important to do that as well in a game of competitive Magic when you know your numbers up. Timely concessions are a big part of what makes you a successful Magic player, and I'm going to do that. Here's a Containment Priest.
Okay, that did not do much.
It's
some tokens.
Doesn't prevent tokens.
Yeah.
It doesn't prevent tokens from entering the battlefield.
So it counters Queen's Zenith.
Natural Order, that sort of thing, yeah.
Well, in that case, would counter Queen's Zenith and Natural Order.
Yeah. That's, it was a list I was
but
adding
mostly
another
Queen's
board.
Zenith.
Yes.
Is it Jace?
Here's
Yes,
Jace.
indeed. Oh, Sebastian only has 1 card, so he's pretty much relying on his Garruk to do the job. Tap your card on top of your deck.
Maybe he'll be able to unmorph his 1,000 wins and get in there.
Yeah, this Quicksilver Dragon.
Yeah.
He's a Chroma Angel of Fury.
Oh, damn it, that's a good one. Jeez. I think Scornful Egotist is probably the pick of the bunch, though.
I don't remember what that guy does.
It's an 8-mana 1/1 with no abilities.
Oh, yes, yeah, that's good. That guy's good.
It's the Wilfie Horrig Invitational card. Here is Elvish Visionary.
Hopefully not attacking to the Zombie Cutthroat. That would be bad.
Again, I've conceded.
Oh, okay. Oh no, you start over.
I know I started one, just did one.
Yeah, playing the
See Garruk now
Priest. Yeah,
fighting.
that helps. Well, he doesn't have creatures in the graveyard, so the overrun effect is not going to do much.
No, it doesn't do a whole lot. Here comes the 4 power going at Jace now. With the face down creature and the 2/2, the wolf. So Garruk is now going to start spinning up 1/1 Death Touch instead of 2/2 vanillas. Brainstorm
1, 2,
from
3.
Jace.
Yeah, this is gonna start to go downhill. Sebastian is gonna have to close this game fast.
Yeah, I mean, good port in this position here. I mean, there's not, unless he goes top, put a Terminus back on top, then, there's not an immediate danger of the port.
Like I can see a lot of cards that turn this game around.
Yeah.
Well, Terminus, Vendilion Click. I don't know if he plays them. And even.
But I mean, in this position here, I mean, the Jace is going to die.
Snap. No, not sure.
Almost certainly.
Like Snapcaster into Brainstorm.
Snapcaster into Swords as well is problematic.
Yeah, Snapcaster into Jace still dies.
Yeah.
But Snapcaster into Brainstorm, that's a beating.
Why? Snapcaster Brainstorm Terminus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or even Snapcaster Brainstorm and Swords.
Yeah.
Well, Jace would still die. So, yeah, Snapcaster.
Oh, and look
Brainstorm,
at this. Is Bartle not going to send everything?
Oh, what, really? Nah, he has to send everything.
No.
No?
Nope, not going to. Not going to do it. And here we have Snapcaster Mage. No, it's Predict.
Oh, but is that Terminus?
So predict.
On me, Terminus.
Oh, look at that. And notice, sir, my hands are completely empty. And now for my next trick, I name Wear Tear and draw a Terminus. Wow, there you go. So set that up very nicely there.
That was very good.
Here is predict. This is what we've seen come up as the latest piece of technology for card advantage in the Legacy Miracles decks.
I like that card.
Little instant speed divination, and that's what I mean. Exactly what you said was going to happen, Raphael Levy, just happened.
Yeah. Well,
what a surprise.
And now he chose an extra card too. Like this, Terminus is there, and
a Source to Plowshares as well to get rid of that 1/1 Death Toucher as well. So now Goodport gets to untap with the Jace, which is, I mean, you know, that was a clutch brainstorm from the Jace there. Goodport able to use every single card that he drew, that he saw, put them back in exactly the order that he wanted. And,
if you wanted to play a good game, you would have played Johannes games. Like the game, if you wanted, for us, we could have said, okay, that would be a good sequence of cards.
Yeah.
Given that Sebastian's draw was actually pretty good with a lot of back-breaking cards.
But Goodport able to find the answers that he needed there in every and sequence them perfectly there.
Well, he did play a Ponder. He did play 2 Brainstorms. He had a Jace to.
But he was also hellbent at the end of that turn.
I don't think he was.
He was hellbent.
Look how many cards
he's got 4 cards in hand because he's in the middle of resolving a brainstorm. His final card was the Swords to Plowshares, killing the 1/1 wolf.
I don't think he was hellbent. I know he made the hand gesture, but like he still has like 5 or 6 cards in hand.
Yeah?
Yeah,
okay.
He does.
All right.
I don't think he was
a little
hellbent.
bit less impressed
No.
now. My impressment level has gone just down.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Look, like he can't have like 4 or 5 cards now if he was hellbent. Like he would have drawn 2 with predict. So he would have had 1 card left, then 2 cards, then brainstorm 3 cards.
Here's another predict.
Had he been hellbent, he would have had 3 cards in hand, but he has like 4 or 5 now.
So it draws 2 off the predict now.
Little Wolfie. Death Touch Wolfie.
Death Touch Wolferino getting it done here. Or trying to at any rate. Goodport, has... Jeez. That's not his hand, that's his library, okay. Jeez.
He has about 35 cards in hand.
Searching out a land with that Scalding Tarn. He's going to need to find another piece of removal though for that wolf, otherwise Jace is going to bite the dust.
No, he can plus 2.
Has he not used it this turn already?
I think it's the end of Sebastian's turn.
Alright, okay.
Like he predicted on his turn, I think. Or maybe end of turn.
I see.
But he still has to untap.
Okay.
He can just plus 2. There was none.
Snapcaster, and it's going to be Sword.
Yeah.
Okay. That'll do it. What does Battle have to say about that? Very little. Battle really, I mean, you know...
Yeah, and then untaps, and then he can actually attack the
Garrick as well.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I think the game, killing the priest might not have been the best thing. Like making 2/2s is a little more important than actually killing the priest.
I think he just wanted to get that attack in on the Jace there, but...
yeah, but still, like he would have traded like one of his 2/2s for. Like he was not. I don't think he was killing Jace at that point.
No, it was the visionary and the 2/2s that he had in hand on the board. So, in any case, in comes the Snapcaster Mage. It's going to attack Garrick down to 1 here, and now we're going to see a brainstorm off Jace.
Yeah, this is.
Bit of carnage really going on now.
Yeah, Armageddon is not doing much here now.
Man, that would have been so sweet.
That would have been very sweet.
That would have been super sweet, but this Jace the Mind Sculptor ends up coming out on top, as he so often does here.
General piece of culture here.
Oh, please.
Do you know where the word Armageddon, you know where it's from?
Is it from French?
No, it's not from French.
What's it from?
It's from Hebrew.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Ah, tell me more.
It's like Armageddon.
Yeah.
Like mountain Megiddo. That's where it's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Is mountain.
Okay. Yeah.
Armageddon. Armageddon.
Yeah. Right. I didn't know that.
Well, now you know.
There you go.
And you can go to sleep with.
With that piece of knowledge.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is in German?
Armageddon.
Yeah. No, Armageddon. No, it's no, it's Gute Dämmerung.
Yeah?
Yeah, it means like
Oh,
the
yes,
damnation of the gods.
I
Yeah.
remember that.
Yeah. Pretty metal name. Gute Dämmerung.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bet there are how many
There's a lot of lands.
how many Northern European black metal bands are named Gute Dämmerung?
Yeah. All of them.
Oh, every single one of them. Yeah.
Kind of balance in play now. Things are not looking very good for Sebastian.
No. Dried over here. Going to attack Jace. Oh, and another Swords to
But
Plowshares.
we knew.
Raphael
I
Levy,
think we
stop
knew
it.
about that one. I think that's the one that was on top when he played Abrupt Decay.
Oh, no, that was the one that was cast off of the Predict
Yeah, I don't know.
on the Death Touch Wolf.
Maybe. I don't know. Oh yeah. Maybe.
He's got it all. He's got it all. Good point turned up here, and when he registered his deck list, he wrote it all.
Oh.
And so when his opponent says, "How do you have it all?" he shows the deck list, and it just says it all on top of it. He has it all. Actually, we've got the deck list in front of us. Just here, let's have a look and see what it says. Oh, just 75 copies of it all. Okay, interesting. Interesting way to build your deck here. He's done very well though. All the way to the semi-finals. He's on the verge of making it into the final here, playing off in our Bazaar of Moxon Legacy tournament here against the defending champion Anton Karlinski. It's been a big day. It's only going to finish bigger here, and of course we'd like to thank you around the world for choosing to join us wherever you are. It's a great pleasure to have your company. Raphael Levy, the Pro Tour Hall of Famer, alongside Riley Knight, his mate.
Mike.
Snap Custom Age hits the bin.
Oh, so many cards in hand.
And so many more now. 3 more cards off of this brainstorm. Good port with, I mean, how many cards would you say that is? 10?
I think it's close to 10, yeah.
Yeah.
It's closer to 10 than to 0.
Back go 2. Are we going to see Monastery Mentor here? Yep, there it is. And this is the way to play it. Immediately getting value off it with the Sensei's Divining Top. Bartle, jeez, look at that.
Monkey Monk.
Tapping his mana in a rather despondent way. It's going to be an Abrupt Decay on the Mentor. And we're going to see a Brainstorm in response.
Just to make more dudes.
Yep. One more of these for me, thanks, he says. Please and thank you.
Are we going to see a show off now? Yeah, I still have all these.
Still have... do you know how much stuff I have?
Look at what I'm drawing. Look at this. I don't even need it.
All. No, I don't even need it, but I'm going to draw it anyway. I'm not even going to look at these cards. I'll just put 2 back.
You choose. You choose.
You choose which one.
I just draw one.
Yeah, yeah.
Right now I just draw one.
I just draw one, alright? Whatever.
Yeah, this guy.
Yeah, this guy.
Him.
He's dead. Yeah, away goes the Mentor. And 2 prowess triggers. Bartle draws. I mean, he's got a couple of cards now. He's got 3 or 4 cards.
But what they do?
What do they do? I think one of them's Gaze Cradle, so that does nothing.
Oh, it can have 1 green mana. With Jacinho. With Garukino.
Oh, here we go. 4 mana.
Armageddon. Well, Ravages of
Ravages
War.
of War.
Yeah, that's about the same.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's have a
What does it do? It doesn't
what does
do
this
much,
one
right?
do?
Yeah, okay. Whatever.
Okay,
Is
counterbalance.
that a Jace?
Oh, it's a Jace! He didn't even look! He didn't even look! He didn't even have to look! He's just flipped it again!
He just brainstormed, but you know. He just brainstormed.
How did he know to keep a 4 on top is my point.
That's good, because he played well.
Oh, he played perfectly. Played around the Ravages of War. Unbelievable stuff. 2 Armageddon's cast, and twice they've been countered by Jace the Mind Sculptor. Sebastian Battle can't believe it. He can't believe it, Raphael Levy.
I'm not even sure that was that would have been good. Armageddon, I don't think that would have won him the game here.
Oh, mate, I'm sorry. I just need to jump out the booth and get my umbrella real quick because you are raining on my parade. Everyone's raining on my parade today. Okay.
Oh, another Jace.
Away goes Jace. Here comes
Yeah,
second
one.
Jace.
Yeah. Oh, that was good too.
Yeah.
He plays a Jace. He pumps his team. Team is gonna be able to.
To take down the Garrick. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tell Garrick to go find another frame.
Yeah. Go on there.
Because they don't die. The Planeswalker.
Planeswalker, no, they just keep going.
Just leave
he's, I think he's still trying to find Liliana.
Yeah, that's game.
Hashtag, there you go. Bartle knows what's up. He's read the writing on the wall.
Glimpse.
He's got Glimpse and Cavern in hand, and he's drawing, cards that just don't compare to the might of the Miracles players. Jeez, look at that. What a finish for Good Port there after countering 2 copies of Ravages of... Well, an Armageddon, a Ravage of War as well. Jeez.
Do you know where the name Ravages of War come from?
Tell me where the words...
From English.
Oh, from English. Okay, all right. And what does that mean?
Ravages means destroy, like destroying a lot.
Oh, okay. I thought it
And
was
of
like,
war is like.
it comes from the ancient word for rabbit and what they would used to do to your garden if you'd planted carrots and cabbages. They'd dig it up. The rabbits of
Rabbiters.
I was going for something there. I feel like I had something pretty positive cooking up. But there you go. You can see the sideboard option. I love this sideboard plan though. Destroying all the land. Come on! Don't make that face at me, Raphael Levy. When was the last time you cast an Armageddon?
Efficiently?
Well, you'll be able to tell me the exact date and time. Yeah,
Actually 99.
Yeah, what was it? What day was it? Tuesday?
No, it was at PT.
It was at the PT.
Yeah.
So Thursday, Friday.
Yeah. Was it Friday or Saturday? That was a Saturday. I don't think.
And you'd be able to tell with the day. I knew.
Yeah, it was a Saturday. I didn't cast in the top 8.
Jeez. No.
Because yes, I did.
Oh, did you make the top 8 of
Yes,
that?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah. No, never mind that we're here to watch other people play Legacy. Raphael Levy always finds a way to talk about how many.
You asked me.
I didn't ask you if you were.
when
I didn't ask you if you were
when
a
I
top 8
played
of a Pro
Armageddon.
Tour. There we go. Jeez. All right. So we're going to stay live here and kick it into the semi-finals here. We've got the defending champion Anton Karlinski playing Eldrazi versus Johan Gutbrod. As we bring it back to the booth, ladies and gentlemen, Riley Knight is here alongside the Pro Tour Hall of Famer, Raphael Levy. Now, Raph, do you want to talk about your Pro Tour top 8?
No, that's so long ago. I don't even remember.
You don't remember. I mean, can't remember. I mean, how many there were. You know, we probably forgot one. Was it just the one? 2? Oh, was it 3? Oh, okay.
It's too long ago. Doesn't
too
matter.
long ago. Doesn't matter. It's ancient
They don't
history.
count anymore.
Ancient magic history, ladies and gentlemen, and we're not about that right now. We are about the here and the now. Anton Karlinski, the reigning champion, playing his Eldrazi list. He did very well with it last tournament. About as well as you can do, winning the whole damn thing.
Yep.
And we'll see how fate smells in this time, because he's up against the person we just saw, Gutbrod.
He plays very well. Like,
Absolutely.
I haven't seen anything I would have done differently.
No, he really. I mean, all the setup, everything else like
what
that.
we've seen, I don't know. We haven't seen his hand.
We've checked in a couple of times throughout the day, and I have to say I haven't seen any glaring, sort of questionable plays being made by him. So it's been pretty spectacular, I would say. And the Miracles list, always one that you can rely on. But I mean, I think this is the reality that we live in now. A reality that is continually getting smashed by 5/5s. So where do you land on this? Where do you fall on this Miracles versus Eldrazi? We talk about these decks being at the top of the pile in Legacy. I think it's fair to say that they are. Are we going to have a repeat performance, or are we going to see Miracle and Terminus get there?
Well, we've seen last time there were a lot of Eldrazi and a lot of Miracles.
Yeah.
In Ansi, and for the Bazaar of Moxen. So it was kind of natural that they got to battle at the end.
Found their way to the top, yeah.
But here, I don't think there were as many Miracles and as many Eldrazi. And in the end, they still win.
So they got up to the top there like that. So the deck, we've just been told the deck lists are online. You can jump onto bazaarofmoxen.com and have a look at these. Lists. Maybe compare the one that Karlinski was playing a few months ago versus the one he's playing now. So this is how the tournament's going to shake out. It's going to end one way or the other. And once again, thank you for choosing to join us today. It's been great to have your company. Tomorrow, we're kicking off once again, nice and early in the morning. But the format's going to be a little bit different, Raphael Levy, next time around.
Modern?
We're going to be playing Modern. And I tell you what, there's no one I'd rather be in the booth with when it comes to playing Modern than, of course, Patrick Dickman, who'll be coming in a little bit later on to walk you through the final as well. But the Modern Master will be joining us as well tomorrow. And I tell you what a pleasure it's been to have him on his coverage debut today. He's done a fantastic job, and a true professional. Really nice to have some
fresh blood.
Fresh blood, I was going to say, in a good way of putting it. Exactly.
Yeah,
nice to have rather than an old dinosaur, an old dusty dinosaur standing next to me in the booth like this. Rafi is actually standing. He's that short. He's about 3 foot tall. So Patrick Dickman on the other hand is 7'5". He's an absolute monster, and it's been great to have his company. Because
being tall is very relevant.
It equates directly into magical skill. That's why LeBron James is also on the Pro Tour. Yeah, that's right. Well, I mean, have you seen Marshall Sutcliffe?
Playing basketball?
Either or. Playing magic. He does play basketball. I know. Well, he should. He's about a million feet tall. There you go, like that. Anyway, these players in the feature match area getting ready for their final. We'll be taking you to them before very much longer. But Raphael Levy, I still haven't got the answer out of you, mate. Who are you favouring?
Well, I would say on paper, if I didn't know the players, I would say Gutbrod. Because I think Miracle is like the steadiest deck.
Yeah.
However, Karlinski won last time. He knows his deck. He knows all the matchups. So I would say about 50-50. I'm taking a lot of risks.
Yeah, you really take. You really just. I mean, your bum's probably hurting from sitting on the fence like that.
Yeah.
But I think, look, at this pace, I mean, it's always easier for me to cop out because I can just go back to the whole. Oh, I don't know how. I actually don't know what I'm talking about most of the time anyway. But this is the, to keep it interesting, I can say that. But I mean, this is really close to call. Really close to call. It's very, very hard to decide how things are going to shape up. Within this, we're going to have Patrick Dickman sneak in next to us. Here we go.
How about this fence?
He's got to come on this side as well. Look at that. There we go. I'm going to be a little sandwich, little Riley sandwich between these two superstars here like that. And we'll get underway with this match as soon as the players are ready, as we said, down in the feature match area. But Patrick, you've been with us the whole way, and we were talking about the fact that we've got Modern coming the viewers' way tomorrow, and I know everyone very excited to be in your very steady guiding hands throughout the format tomorrow. What are you expecting? Let's talk about Modern. Let's have a little bit of a preview for tomorrow. Where's the format at the moment? What are we looking forward to tomorrow?
Well, I think Modern is in a very diverse state right now. Like, there have been several new decks emerging. For example, Bante Eldrazi, like right after the Eye of Ugin ban. This is the most successful Eldrazi version so far. And Junt has been on the rise again, like especially during Eldrazi times. And when decks like Affinity and Burn were very popular, we did not get to see as much Junt, but right now it's been pretty popular. And we'll see if there's going to be any crazy new decks tomorrow. There's also Nahiri, which made a very big impact lately. And I'm looking forward to it, like, gotta say. Yeah,
and we're looking forward to your company as well as we explore what Modern looks like tomorrow. But right now it's all about Legacy. We're going to head down to the feature match area right now and check in with our finalists. We've got Anton Karlinski up against, of course, his opponent, Goodport, playing Miracles. We'll get him to crown a champion very soon, so let's head down to the feature match area right now and see how this one's going to pan out, ladies and gentlemen. Johan Goodport, Sebastian Bartel, only one can... Oh, sorry, against Anton Karlinski, only one can win. And we'll find out who it is in just 3 games of Magic here. We've already got the thoughts of Raphael Levy. He's saying it's too close to call. 50-50 is his remarks on the match. What are yours, Patrick Dickman? Who do you think has the edge going into this one?
I think I will be going with what Russ said. It very much depends on Anton's opener. Like if he has the turn 1 chalice, I think is Anton on the play.
I'm not sure about that actually. I think that no, Anton was on the draw against his Eldrazi opponent. We don't have the final standings in front of us, but that can be a.
But being on the play is definitely like it makes a big difference. And as I said, it kind of depends on the Eldrazi opener. Like if you open up with one of those busted stars, then Miracles has some trouble catching up. But there's definitely some sweet cards against the Eldrazi in the Miracles deck, like for example Terminus. And if you hit a clutch Terminus, usually the game ends on the spot most of the time because it's pretty tough for Eldrazi to come back from behind.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking before, Raph, about the fact that the Elves deck can sometimes reload after a Terminus and deploy its threats in waves, if you like, if you want to term it like that. Glimpse of Nature often helping it get back in the game, but Eldrazi doesn't have the same luxury against a Terminus, does it?
No, but it's different. They play a different game.
Yeah.
Like, Elves are going to try to kill you right away. Well, they do their stuff, hope you don't have the answer, and then they kill you. Eldrazi has a different plan. Eldrazi is more about you're not going to play your answers. So you might have the answer, but you might not be able to play it. And he's going to play on your... he's going to attack your resources and kill you in like 2 or 3 turns. But if you play a Smasher and they don't have the answer...
Yeah, it's going to kill very
Then it's going to kill you, and you don't waste that much resource on playing the Smasher.
And, I mean... Gotta say that Eldrazi has access to Eye of Ugin, so they can sort of reload with it. I mean, it's pretty slow, but can definitely get you out of clinch if you're like in a sort of eco position and just get a reload with a few more Eldrazi. It's not bad.
Have you seen the?
I've seen that
player?
before.
Yeah?
I've seen it being activated before.
Okay.
I mean, of course, it's not happening very often, but in this matchup, I can see it happening.
I mean, we saw it happen earlier today.
Yeah.
We saw someone fetching out an Endbringer with their Eye of Ugin. Yeah. But it looks like the players are getting ready, and it's off. Tundra here, powering up a Sensei's Divining Top, and we've got a Chalice for 1 on the other side of things.
This is what I was talking about not being able to play your answers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and unfortunately for Anton, he was on the draw. So I mean that Chalice on turn 1 would have been much more threatening without Sensei's Divining Top already being in play. But it's still pretty nice. It still shuts down all the cantrips and Swords to Plowshare.
Yeah, critically Swords to Plowshare is not an option now for Goodport, who would be leaning on that heavily as a very efficient spot removal spell. Take care of some of those things. The Thought Not Seers, even the endless ones here for 4. Well, for essentially 2 really.
Mm-hmm.
Like the thing now is to kill every single creature you need Terminus. Because there's no other removal. We've seen versions with Council's Judgment and other stuff, but there's usually
as a one-off there'll be a one-off hiding around somewhere.
They have more threats than you have Terminus.
And also, Chalice on 1 will make the Snapcaster Mages very embarrassing because Johannes is playing at least 3, if not 4 Snapcaster Mages, and they'll have nothing to flashback other than Counterspell.
Reality Smasher the play here for Karlinski.
Yeah, how about that Smasher? Do you like the Smasher play here?
Here's the 3rd Tundra now for Goodport.
I'm thinking wasn't attacking for 4 just better? Like setting up a bigger, like with a Mimic on the next turn.
Oh yeah, I did not see that he was holding the Eldrazi Mimic.
He has a Mimic in hand. I think if he doesn't have a Terminus, that's great. But if he has it, I don't know.
And maybe he just doesn't want to give him the time to find the Terminus, given that he does not have it.
But Mimic does not give him an extra turn, because that's 9 and 9. So Johannes would still be on the 1. So it's still 2 turns. If he attacks for 4, plays the Mimic, says go. He attacks next turn for 6, so that's 10, and then he can play the Smasher anytime he wants.
All right, yeah, does make sense.
So Johannes does not have, he has it now, but he didn't want to play he didn't want to sacrifice his top to do it during his turn. So yeah, maybe not playing them, just playing Mimic would have been a little better. Because still, Johannes would have been on 10, would have been on the same, but there would be a 5/5 on the board.
Yeah.
So here is the Mimic, and I can see a Displacer in the hand of Karlinski as well.
Yeah, it does not do much.
No, it's certainly not for this matchup.
Displacer, and a
Caracas
Reshaper.
And it's going to be Matter Reshaper, yep. Matter Reshaper the play for Karlinski here.
that Smasher last turn was critical.
Here's Counterspell though.
Well, you would have countered.
Yeah, would have countered it anyway.
Yeah. Still.
So, Goodport here, paddling desperately to keep his head above water.
Oh, he's doing a good job.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I did not get a good look at his hand. If it's just 1-drops, of course he's in a tough spot. But he's been fighting back quite good so far.
Yeah. And a Displacer. Anton did not play a Displacer in NC.
No?
I don't think he was.
Well, we were talking about this, and we'll see more of this tomorrow. Patrick Dickman, we're talking about the old Displacer versus Matter Reshaper in Modern, but in Legacy, I think they occupy. At least some of the same space. They both cost 3, but I don't think this debate is settled.
Yeah, me neither.
Snapcaster Mage to counter the Displacer, so Anton is left with nothing. He has just a lone Mimic.
Lands, yeah.
So just the 2/1 here.
Yeah, Johannes got made a pretty good comeback.
Yeah.
After
after that Reality Smasher came in and looked to really get into the red zone here, the Goodport revival has really put him back in the driver's seat here. Does have to find something though. The top's going to help him do it. I think he's hellbent at this stage, or maybe a card or 2 in hand.
Oh,
Karlinski though.
Oh, you were talking about that card.
Monolands.
Yeah, I have Ugin. That's what he drew. Oh, is
it
Cavern?
No, it's Cavern of
Cavern of
Souls.
Souls. Oh.
What?
It looks very much like Advocate.
It's got the little glowy sort of lights in the middle.
Would be happy to draw Advocate here.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think you'd.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
You'd much prefer it.
And you're ending up in these kind of board states quite a bit against Miracles.
Another land as well. Look at that ancient tomb, the draw for Karlinski. Let's have a look at the top 3 cards. It says good port. If he doesn't like him, he can shuffle them away. I can see an Arid Mesa hanging out there. I'm gonna have and in response.
Yes, that's what we talked about earlier with Patrick.
Okay.
The sequencing with the senseless divining top.
So how does that work?
So when you know you're gonna top after your fetch, you want to activate the top and then fetch.
Okay, why's that?
Because if you sacrifice the fetch and your opponent has a way to destroy the top,
Yeah.
then your top is gonna go away, and you're not gonna be able to look at the top 3 cards after you shuffle.
I see.
If
Right,
you
yeah.
fetch, you pay 1 to look at the top 3 and then you fetch. Then on the stack you're gonna look at the top 3.
No matter what.
No matter what. If they kill you, if they destroy your top,
Yeah.
you're still gonna do it. Otherwise, it doesn't work. So that's
So nice tight technical play there from Johan Goodboard. Certainly something I've learned today. Back go 3 cards.
so yeah. He knows all the tricks, and
You've already mentioned
Yeah.
you've been very impressed with his performance so far. No obvious glaring errors or any play mistakes or even just things that have made you sort of raise your elbows going,
I mean, Anton's players are good too. I'm not, but I like watching this. I like watching Miracle players playing very tightly.
and especially with speed. And I think Goodport has he hasn't struck me as being sort of insanely rushed levels of speed, but he's always playing it at a reasonable clip, never with these huge big pauses or breaks.
And there's finally the first business card for Anton. I think he drew an Endbringer.
And yes, here it is.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be counted, obviously, after having been cast off the Cavern of Souls, and that's going to be a nice little sort of engine here.
Yeah, that's gonna be countered.
Yeah.
Just in case. Never know.
Never know.
Might as well try.
Yeah.
So, brainstorm.
Yeah, now attack first. No, there's no brainstorm.
Oh, sorry, the top. I should say. Not quite a brainstorm.
So now, like, if he wants to play Terminus of the top, he will sacrifice his top, because he won't be able to cast it again.
So we're going to see a block here with Snapcaster Mage. Yes, we are indeed.
Chimpanzino. Yeah, Cavern of Souls for Eldrazi's. Do Eldrazi's have souls?
Apparently so.
Yeah.
Apparently so. They're all stuck away in that little cavern there. So let's have a look at the top 3.
Yeah, it might be the end.
Well, that's what the Endbringer promises to bring.
Yeah.
A
Only
flavor,
legacy, though.
flavor victory here.
That's the hands gesture of the end, I think. The tentacle finger.
Tentacle fingers coming
Yeah,
through.
Emrakul is
mate, everywhere.
is whispering in Johannes' ears. You are Emrakul.
Someone's been reading Magic Story.
Yeah, I love them.
You love Magic Story.
The lessons
Look
are
at
awesome. I loved it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I've been reading them too. I got to admit.
I haven't
I
read
don't
the
know
last
why it's
one.
such a dirty little secret of a Magic place.
I love it.
They're
That's
good
awesome.
fun. They're really good.
Another land.
Another land for Karlinski.
But now he's gonna draw off the.
Draw a million cards a turn.
Yeah,
I mean, he might be opting for a lethal attack, but I think that's exactly what he's thinking about. It's actually not lethal because Mimic is not a 5/5 anymore.
I think I would draw here.
Yeah, I think so too, because you're just too worried about Terminus, right?
You're a little worried, but not too worried. I think like drawing another card is just so important.
Okay, well,
because
here they come.
it's not going to change the clock, right?
Yeah.
Because next turn you can still attack for lethal, because now you attack him down to seven, and the turn after that you attack for 7.
I don't forget.
I don't think you can. I don't think you
I'm
can.
pretty sure. I'm
no,
pretty sure.
I don't think you can. It just says it. It's like Prophet of Krufix. You can't forget it. It just happens.
Okay. Ooh.
Yeah.
That's yeah. He's still on 2. Johannes is still on 2.
So Janus on 2. Here's Jace the Mind Sculptor.
So he has to bounce back the Endbringer.
The Endbringer,
Otherwise Endbringer is gonna ping him to death.
Yeah.
So because Endbringer can go.
The attacking was good too. Yeah.
Endbringer can go ping you for 1,
Yeah.
and then untap ping you again.
Yeah.
So Johan here with only really one option unless there's another answer to the Endbringer. Swords to Plowshares isn't going to do it.
Yeah, Elves and Eldrazi are playing very different games.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, like they have to recover from Terminus.
Mm-hmm.
Eldrazi does not have that problem with like recovering. Chalice shuts down a lot of miracle spells.
Good plot down to 1 now after the unsummon from the Jace is met with an activation of Endbringer's first ability. And now it's back to
Maybe I would have
Karlinski.
drawn here.
Yeah, I think
Like Eldrazi Mimic is still lethal here.
mhm.
Well, there's no real reason to not draw here. 1 or 2. If Endbringer survives, then
Endbringer once again.
5-5. Actually, there's a reason. I see. I always think like a return too late because now he can't fetch. Johannes cannot fetch at 1 life.
And in comes the Eldrazi Mimic for 5. Goodport's going to have a look at the top cards of his library once again. And can't find anything, so packs it up. There you go. Game number 1 goes to Karlinski, the reigning champion here at Bazaar of Moxon.
1 game away from...
1 game away from the double down. 1 game away from the repeat performance here, and he's done really well to get so far, and with a list that obviously is treating him really well, Patrick.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I've been like spotting nothing that I don't like in his deck list so far, and I really like the addition of Eldrazi Displacer. I think it's a fantastic card, and I mean it's you don't get to like flicker for value so much, but for example in the mirror match in the semifinals, we saw him just punch through with the help of Eldrazi Displacer because it was just exiling blockers. And it's just, I think it's just a very versatile creature. It is its combat stats are decent. I mean, 3/3 is quite big in Legacy. I
Yeah,
like
we were talking about that earlier. The fact that the 3/3s that Garrick Wildspeaker was making just completely rule the roost.
Yeah. Like removing blockers is not exactly what you expect in Legacy.
No.
Oh, in the Eldrazi mirror, for example.
Hey, the
it's
Eldrazi
really
mirror is good, yeah.
These guys here hitting their sideboards. You would have thought that by now the memo would have gone out and Johan would have come prepared for his Eldrazi matchups. And you know, I know that modern players were looking to cards like Worship to try to find answers to Eldrazi. What are we looking at in Legacy?
Humility.
Mm-hmm.
Mixstone?
I mean, there's a lot of answers to the deck. Like, for example, Humility comes to mind. Moat,
yeah.
First,
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Moat played already in Legacy in
Basics.
Miracle sideboards. Back to Basics is another option as well, yeah. We've seen it played in Miracle sideboards for quite a while, so I wouldn't be surprised to see it also brought to bear here.
although Johan might be playing Blood Moon. I mean, he already got the Volcanic Island anyway, so he would probably prefer that over
Yeah, we're back to basics.
Yeah.
I like the deck list from last BoM.
Yeah.
With back to basics. No red. Just playing.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah,
I love that deck
the
list.
Miracles list. Yeah, that's right. It was interesting to see that one, and it'll be good to see the list. Of course, they've been put up. BazaarofMoxon.com. You can check them out. Have a look at exactly how these players have configured their 75 to come and try to take down this tournament. And Anton Karlinski, the reigning champion, you see him there on your screen. He's 1 game away from performing the back-to-back performance, taking down 2 Legacy tournaments in a row. We'll see if he can get these. On the draw here, Patrick, you mentioned earlier that it's so crucial for an Eldrazi list, whether they're on the play or on the draw, and he's going to be on the draw once again for the 2nd time here.
Well, I guess in this matchup, it might not be as important as, for example, in the Eldrazi mirror. I mean, like the Miracle deck is much slower than the Eldrazi deck, of course, and so you'll have some time to like set up. And we saw this game; it was like a really long, drawn-out game, and the Eldrazi deck was just drawing a lot of lands, but all the creatures you're playing are just so good. So I mean, of course, being on the play is still very nice, especially with Chalice, but it's probably not a must.
Chalice of the Void, we did see how much work it got done in that in game number 1 there, Raf. And I mean, you know, beyond the Chalice for 1, do you then look to tighten the screws further as an Eldrazi list and play a Chalice for 2 as well? Shut off those counter spells, those Snapcaster Mages?
I guess if you get the option to do it.
Yeah.
not such a huge priority then against some other decks.
What takes care of Chalice for 1?
Disenchant, that's it.
And Wear and Tear?
Yeah.
Yeah, Wear and Tear, I think we've actually seen it in Goodport's list. It was one of the cards that he chucked away to a Predict earlier on in the
after
semis.
Sideboard.
Yeah, after sideboarding. So wouldn't be surprised to see it brought in again here. But I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see the way it pans out. Once again, it's hard to pick the winner here. I mean, after sideboard, do the fortunes of either player change considerably?
I don't think Anton's list changes that much.
I think he will. I think Anton will only be bringing in maybe another Warping Veil, which is okay at countering Terminus, but I don't think that it's countering much else outside of cantrips, and maybe another Endbringer or something like that. But he won't be. His list won't be changing much.
Do you bring in more Endbringers?
I think Endbringer is very good. Yeah, I really like it.
Okay. I feel like it's very expensive for something that dies to a source. To swords.
Off we go here for what might be our final game in our Bazaar of Moxon Legacy Tournament. And look at this, we're opening up with the Sphere of Amethyst.
This is a very good draw.
Sorry, Thorn of Amethyst.
He has a Chalice
a
too.
Chalice in hand as well, I can see.
Yeah, there's
so
a lot of
turn 2
permission.
is going to have the...
So good board here with nothing into nothing here, unfortunately for him. There is the Thorn of Amethyst.
Yeah, you definitely Wasteland here. No? I think I would have Wastelanded
And here we're going to see a Chalice.
They would have Wastelanded just to keep Johannes away from Disenchant.
Yeah, and he's also opening himself up to. I mean, counterbalance is probably not great in this counterbalance. Like he might be resolving it now, but it's not good in this matchup.
Yeah.
So that's probably
I think it
not.
takes them out.
Yeah.
I think Johannes.
I was about to say that he might even cut some, if not all of them.
I think I would.
Yeah, yeah.
The only thing you can do is counter Thought-Knots here with the Jace on top. And
Yeah, absolutely.
That's just...
I was about to say that, once I said it, I also realized that counterbalance is actually not great.
So back to Goodport here, who's facing down a Thorn of Amethyst and a Chalice of the Void. I think the Chalice of the Void hasn't yet resolved. Goodport is thinking about. I mean, but if you've got a counterspell, you've got to force it here, right?
That's a tough position, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
What do you do if Chalice makes it on the board?
You've got to counter. That's what I'm saying. You've got to counter.
But it's still.
Yeah.
But if you don't, if you counter, then you're down like 2 cards.
Yeah, there's the force
Pitching force.
I mean, it feels very, very bad to do that.
Yeah.
But I think it might be right to do so. There's a weird hair in Johannes' hand.
Okay, and the mana to cast it as well here. So we'll see what Karlinski wants to do.
Yeah, I saw he was keeping at least 3 more lands, and the other cards were not clear. It's some Eldrazi, but I don't know which exactly.
And that's why I would have Wastelanded last turn. To keep Johannes from playing Wear and Tear.
Here's Chalice number 2. Another Chalice here.
Opting once again not to use Wasteland though.
So Karlinski, he does have another soul land here in the form of an Ancient Tomb, and can play an endless one, but it's going to be
A 1/1.
it's going to be Cavern of Souls instead here.
So what do you take care of? Chalice, right?
I think so, yeah. I mean, we're getting to a point where Johannes can afford to pay an additional mana for a spell, but Chalice completely locking down a lot of the spells, probably too dangerous. Yep.
Yep, so away goes Chalice number 2 here. And as you say, it looks like Goodport will just be playing around the Thorn for the rest of the game.
I really wonder why Anton chose not to go for the mana first, though.
Yeah.
I can see playing the Chalice on turn 2. That is something I can get behind maybe, but on turn 3 I'm pretty sure I would have Wastelanded.
Brainstorm now for 2 mana.
We for the Miracle version we had for GP Prague that Jeremy played, we had a couple of Banishing Strokes in the deck. So Banishing Strokes is a 6 mana ritual.
A 6 mana sorcery that has that's Miracle 1.
Miracle 1 white.
Yeah.
And it it doesn't return. It
puts a permanent on top of the library.
An enchantment, artifact or creature.
Oh, okay.
At the bottom of the library.
Yeah, there it is. Oh, bottom of the library. There you go. Yeah.
So it efficiently takes care of Chalice for 1 and stuff like that. So it's not just a disenchant. You can also do the same thing with you can like take care of Thought Not Seer or
and it's an instant as well.
Oh, it's an instant. But for 6 mana, you're not gonna do. Like you might be able to hardcast.
I mean, people see we hardcast Force of Will every now and again as well, so it could happen. Could happen.
But yeah, that was a good way to play around Chalice in Miracle.
Matter Reshaper now for Karlinski. And another Ancient Tomb here is going to get a Pithing Needle into play.
Probably on Sensei's Divining Top. Or maybe he can go tricky and say Floated Strands.
Yeah, he's probably waiting for Goodbrod to like make his decision and
about whether he cracks the fetch or not. Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But he's not gonna crack it.
Why would you here?
I mean, I think it's quite appealing to like go for the Flooded Strand if he chooses not to use it, because you still have the Wasteland, and you also have the Endbringer that is going to be a pretty large threat.
That's true.
Goodbrod having a good old think about whether this needle's going to resolve or what's going to happen before it does.
Like, why wouldn't he fetch? The reason that's the real reason.
Why wouldn't he?
Like he wouldn't fetch just to bait Anton into calling Flooded Strands.
Yeah.
Like that's the only reason why you wouldn't fetch. If he fetches, then Anton has no choice but to call Needle. If there's a reason why he wants Anton to call Flooded Strands, then he would still leave it on the board. So he basically has, like, Anton has no reason to call Flooded Strands, pretty much. In the level 2 or 3.
No, well, essentially, yeah. By Goodbrod leaving it there, he says, "I don't care if you name like this." He's making the choice for his opponent. So Karlinski shouldn't name Flooded Strand, essentially, at all.
Yeah,
is what you're saying. That does make sense. Well, no. Oh, okay. Gonna bring just.
It appears to be a really tough decision. So maybe Johannes is also not sure whether or not he should.
If he's not sure, then he has to sack it.
Yep. So away it goes. And we're going to see a blind name of Pithing Needle. What will it be?
Probably Divining Top, yeah.
Maybe Sarpedian Empire's Volume 7. We'll find out.
Well, the other thing is the Jace, the Man Sculpture.
He's very far away from casting that.
I don't think
not too far. Yeah,
well, he's going to be down to 3 mana this turn, right?
Yeah.
And he needs 5.
He might also have been thinking about which land he was picking. Because now he picked up a Tundra, but he's not going to have...
Yeah, access to red mana could be in short supply if this Wasteland is used. Indeed it is, as you see. Sensei's Divining Top the name with the Pithing Needle. And now it's back to Goodbrod here. Or Karlinski maybe hasn't attacked yet.
He hasn't attacked yet.
Okay, no, because he just cast the... He's just cast the Matter Reshaper.
I think he did.
Just cast it this turn,
yeah. Yeah, he did. He just cast it.
So he did not attack and won't attack.
Yeah.
So there's Pithing Needle, as you can see. So tops, Sensei's Divining Top now more or less just a blank piece of cardboard. In this game at least, for as long as that sticks around. Here's Predict. Now, does Goodbrod know the name of the top of his library?
The top, yes.
He does.
He just played Brainstorm, so I assume he does, yeah.
So draws 2, and draws the third card as well.
Nicely gets rid of the useless Sensei's Divining Top that way.
Really tight. So Island now for the turn.
Oh.
Sad Reality Smasher?
Yeah.
So City of Traders finally comes down for Karlinski here.
Can't counter a Smasher attack for.
Yeah, and so get you now for 8.
Is it? No, oh yeah, it's not creature spells.
Yeah.
Attack for 8, so it's a 2.5. 2.5.
2.5 turn clock.
Yeah. And so, it's on 8.
In they come. Yeah, Kalinski's done a lot of damage to himself with those. I mean, the double Ancient Tomb draw will do that to you. Back to Goodport now.
Hoping for the miracle.
Hoping for something special here.
Matter Reshaper, I don't know. How good is Matter Reshaper?
Against miracles?
Yeah.
Not very good.
It's not very good, right?
They're rarely to never going to kill it.
Yeah.
It's just a free two.
Okay.
Most of the time.
Okay.
Just the old Vampire Noble.
Yeah, the Vampire Novel that we've been talking about earlier.
That can't be countered.
Right.
Goodport now in what could be the closing minutes of this tournament here. 2 mana. It's a Brainstorm.
Brainstorm's definitely much worse when you got to cast it for 2.
Oh yeah.
Gotta say.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and this is what we've seen. That Thorn of Amethyst is just, I mean, it's just taxed the mana of Goodport so efficiently here. You know, it's taken 2, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and it's all added up.
It's like taxes, man.
Yeah.
A little bit there, a little bit there.
That's it.
And then you're poor.
Before you know it.
Yeah, you don't have any more money.
Oh, that's it, mate. Before you know it, you're buying name brand washing detergent and. Ugh.
So 9 life, he can survive the next turn, but what is he gonna do next? Like he needs to put like a Terminus on top and then play it again.
Kalinski drops the pen that he's been flicking around in his hand.
And if he plays, yeah, he will have to kill the Smasher with a. Like
Good recovery though. He picks it up and puts it back down.
Yeah, Source to Pleasure.
Yeah, maybe he has a Swords to Plowshare.
Displacer, and like there are still a lot of dudes in the hand, like 2.
Mm-hmm.
So Endless One and Displacer in the hand of Kalinski here.
So attack for 8.
Can put Goodport to 1. He has 1 from that position before.
I think he may have, maybe he should have played that
Displacer.
That Displacer, because we know that that he has a lot of Snap Caster mages in his deck list, so he might just go for a jump block.
Yeah, because there's no way Johannes plays his Terminus on that turn. Like he cannot play it. But like Snapcaster Mage doesn't do much here.
Yep.
Because he would take 1, you go down to 8. He goes down to 8. He jumps. He blocks the
he has to block the Matter Reshaper, and
then he still take 5. He goes down to 3.
Yep.
He gets another card. No, I think it's fine.
Yeah. Well, it's still it would still
You can play the Snapcaster Mage without paying life. Just costs 2.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
So is the old Blue Ambush Viper, Blambush Viper,
Blue Bush.
Blue Bush Viper, Blueberry Bush Viper,
Or Coral Viper.
Coral Viper.
Yeah, Bush. Yeah. Whatever. It's a 2/1.
Oh, that actually sounds like a real card though. Coral Viper.
Coral Viper. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in.
It's one or two.
It's in Homelands. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it?
No.
It's actually. I bet it probably is. It's like it's a 2 mana 1/1 that has Island Walk or something.
Source to Pleasures. On the small one.
Okay, on the Matter Reshaper here
That's
being targeted.
okay.
So he might actually be holding a Snapcaster Mage for the next turn to get rid of everything.
But why wouldn't you kill the? Doesn't he have enough cards?
I don't know. Maybe he's just holding 1 card.
No, I think he has more than that.
I think so too.
He's flickering cards.
He's flickering cards.
No, he has at least 3.
Yeah. Well, you can also flicker cards with 2 cards, right?
So if he has,
If you're really good, you can do it with 1.
if he swords the 3/2, that means like the other cards are pretty relevant. So the game is not over. But the way Johannes played, like hovering over the table, that's that doesn't look like someone who's in control.
Yeah, I mean this is certainly very close. Like he's on the brink of dying, I guess, but there's certainly ways out of this.
Endless One here.
And there's a Terminus.
Yeah. Okay. So that's.
So
There was
Terminus.
something shady about that swords on the small one.
Yeah.
He wanted to keep his cards, so all of his cards are actually relevant.
And it's back to Kalinski
Alright.
now playing the
Is the board stabilized?
Displacer here.
3.
I think there might be
Good
Jace
down to
coming.
3.
Jace?
Yeah, if he's fetching, like, I mean, he could also do that in his turn, but does he know the top card? No, he doesn't,
No.
right?
I don't think he does.
Yeah, but then if he's going to 5 mana, I mean, what else is he going to play? Maybe another Predict?
So shuffle now, and it's Volcanic Island.
No,
And it's back to Goodport. Draws.
So why did he? Yeah, he
Like
knew.
if he fetches right away,
He probably knew about his.
Is 2,
Oh,
and it's
explodes.
Engineered Explosives for 2.
for 1.
Yeah.
And now it's free, I believe.
Now it's 3. Yeah.
I mean, the way this works, you can still pay different colors even if it's one more
Yeah.
expensive. If it costs one more.
Yeah, the sphere basically has no effect
Yeah.
on it. Except you can't cast it for 0.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's still a lot of stuff to. Still a land. Okay, so now board might be stabilized.
Alright, here we go. So that's got rid of the Displacer here. And now Karlinski.
Is that an Isle of Yugin and a cabin?
That's no eye.
Okay.
I think it's just a cavern.
Alright.
Cavern in the city or something. But since he has a City of Traders in play, he does not want to
Yeah, he does not.
play land.
Ponder.
Anton is only on 9.
Yeah.
So a Snapcaster Mage or like Vendel and Click. I don't
Get in there real quick, yeah.
I don't know if Johannes plays Vendel and Click. We don't have his deck list.
Well, we've seen lots of Snapcaster Mages from Goodport throughout the day. So he wants to close out
That's
this
a
game
pretty
because
cool. That's a pretty cool match. I enjoy watching this.
yeah, it's turning around, or at least beginning to here between Goodport and Karlinski. Karlinski, of course, the reigning champion, the current holder of the Bazaar of Moxon Legacy title.
He's 3 damage away.
3
3 points of damage away from getting the back-to-back.
The back-to-back, the Shahar Shenhar, as it's known.
Yeah. A lightning bolt away.
He's one lightning bolt away. If only he were playing lightning bolt.
Yeah.
Wait, it wouldn't have red mana, but
If only he were playing lightning bolt on mountains. Goodport really having a think about this one here. Plays a Scalding Tarn.
he probably has to play around the Smashers.
So didn't shuffle from the Ponder.
Caracas.
Oh, and it's another land off the top of Karlinski. Again, the City of Traders not meaning that he doesn't want to play any of these lands that he's got in his hand. And here's Jace.
5 mana. I think he just new on top.
Yeah.
I think you fate seal your opponent, right? You don't want him to draw the
I think so. It's the
Smasher.
safest thing to do because he won't be able to react to anything for a turn anyway.
Yeah.
Like, or maybe if he has a Force, but other than that, and Force doesn't help with Cavern in play.
Yeah. Like even Thought Not Seer, you probably just leave it. Anything that's not Smasher, you leave. You probably leave Chalice of the Void as well.
So, yep, it stays on top.
Yeah.
That is a terrible feeling there, but Karlinski can take some solace in the fact that it took a while for him to
Reshaper.
decide. Matter Reshaper, the draw for Karlinski here. The reigning champ plays it out off the cavern.
And by now he might actually consider playing lands, I feel.
Yeah.
Like, he has so many of them, and eventually he might actually want access to more mana.
Yeah, especially with those ancient tombs in play as well. I mean, they haven't been cheap when it's come to his life total. So
If only Jace could attack.
Oh, if only.
Would go for life total.
Yeah. And what's his power toughness?
I know, 0-1.
Alright.
He's a 0-2 as a kid.
Yeah.
Oh, 0-2,
Yeah, he's a 0-2 as a kid. So maybe 0-3 by the time he's grown up.
0-3 hexproof. You got some powers.
You got some
along
powers,
the
yeah.
line.
Pretty unfair to have Planeswalker with hexproof.
Sorry, okay, well 0-3 banding then. 0-3 with horsemanship.
Okay.
Better?
Yeah, that's nice. Horsemanship, haven't seen that in a while.
So now Goodport gets another draw step. What is his response to this situation here?
I can still bounce it, but I don't think that's a very good.
Not much of a long-term strategy here.
Yeah. I think you will need to find an answer to every single threat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While still finding a threat of his own. Here comes
Fate
another
Sealing.
Fate Seal.
So he
thinking
does
about
have
it.
an answer.
Has a look and puts it back on top much quicker this time. Or maybe he's still considering the cards in his hand. Goodport's pace of play has slowed down a lot here. After blistering pace earlier, it's a Dismember.
Yeah, that's not great.
In comes the Reality Smasher.
Snappy
Oh, sorry, the Matter Reshaper. And it's Snapcaster Mage.
What do you do here? Do you dismember your own dude?
Swords to Plowshares.
Oh yeah, but he's on 9. So
he's on 9.
Dismembering it would be like down to 5.
Yeah.
Then you won't be able to cast your dudes. All right.
Kalinski up to 12 now. And Snapcaster Mage is going to put a little bit of a clock on Kalinski.
Well, he's probably gonna kill it with Dismember.
With a Dismember, that's right.
Because
Is he?
it does not have many other targets, if any.
Yeah. I think you pull the pin straight away, right? If you're going to do it, you do it straight away.
Do you really want to play Dismember against Miracles?
I don't want Dismember in my 60 against Miracles. But
Yeah.
maybe
it's
simply
to kill the Mentors, but
yeah.
like this looks very painful.
Yeah,
Okay,
it is.
down to 8. In response to that Ponder there. Oh, and Goodport might have something to say about that. It's actual literal counterspell here.
Counterspell.
So Ponder's going to resolve. 3 cards off the top for Goodport here.
I think I'm not sure if it was necessary to protect that Snapcaster Mage. I mean, it provides a 4-turn clock, but
Yeah.
Jace is also a 4-turn clock.
You will have your. You have a way to win.
I mean, then again, Counterspell is probably not hitting anything else because of Kevin, so probably does make sense.
Goodport draws after having shuffled. Finds a Plains.
He hasn't activated Jace yet.
And it's going to be
just kind
another Fate Seal. Let's have a look. This one. Looks like it's staying on top as well. Goodport thinking about it. What's it going to be?
These guys don't want us to go home.
No. No,
They're keeping us They're keeping us
Keeping
wide
us
awake.
all here.
Yeah.
That's it. You can see Goodport counting it up very quickly here, trying to think about how it's going to happen and what cards are going to be important. I mean, you were saying before, guys, that it was pretty clear anything that wasn't Reality Smasher stayed on top, but I mean, has that changed?
Endbringer might be might also be an issue.
I'm not even sure that Endbringer is that much of an issue because he has to kill every single Eldrazi anyway. Like he has to kill pretty much any creature, so it doesn't matter which creature it is.
No, like he can block Thought Natsu, he can block Endless One for just a turn, so that's not so bad. Even the Displacer is not so bad either.
Well, it's obviously not a Reality Smasher because that one would be going straight up underground. And looks like this one eventually is as well. Okay. So this gives Kalinski the option of drawing one right here. Is Fortune going to smile upon the defending champion here?
There's a Chalice.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, Chalice for 1 is still not terrible, but he'll have exactly 1 draw step to find something that gets him out of this hole.
Here is Chalice for 1.
Yeah, I would have started to play some lands before. And with 3 lands in hand, you have to
absolutely
start playing your lands.
Still holding that Caracas in his hand upside down by the look of things.
I mean, I think he's just waiting for any high cast Eldrazi to just tap the City of Traders for mana 1 more time.
Goodport has just cast Force of Will, pitching a counterspell by the look of things.
Yeah. So it's down to 1.
So no fetching, no more forces here for
I think he's out of cards, right?
And also out of cards.
Is he out of cards?
Yeah.
Folding his hands in a very definite way there.
Yeah.
And it's back to Goodport here. So Kalinski on 6, Goodport on 1.
I don't know about the
Snapcaster
Force
Mage.
of Will though. Oh yeah, but he can't counter the Smashers anyway.
Yeah.
So never mind.
You have to keep in mind he can counter any of the Eldrazi, so all the counter spells will be going for spells.
So what do you do? Do you brainstorm or do you Fate Seal?
I think that's exactly what he's thinking about right now, but it's still 2 more Fate Seals, and if he draws 2 Eldrazi, like 2 Eldrazi in a row, he'll have assembled a board where you can't attack into anymore, and that's actually lethal.
Fate Seal.
He decides to Fate Seal, and
Top card.
Top card. That's
looks like it's staying there.
Appears to be a land.
Okay. And Kalinski drops down to 4.
And it's
Draws.
a cavern.
It is a
Cave of Koilos.
Caves of Koilos here.
Do you know what the worst thing is? I think playing HJ's like the guy thinking for a while. He's like, oh yes, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
He's like, I I can't put it back. You're like, oh, come on, please be something. And then you like land and like, and you look at the satisfied face of your opponent. Gotcha.
Yeah, because there's something very defeating about like the person looking at it immediately slamming back on top, but there's something even worse about them looking at it, thinking about it for a long time, and then just completely next leveling it. Up to 13 now. This Jace here. In comes Snapcaster Mage, and look at that, a concession there from
look at the
Karlinski.
smasher on top.
Jeez.
It's 1-1. We're going to game 3.
Game number 3 here.
Final game of the tournament.
Karlinski will be on the play now, which is going to make a little bit of a difference for him. I mean, it makes a huge difference in the mirror, that sort of situation as well. But an early chalice, you know, some early acceleration with his lands. Get a Thought Knot Seer or a Reality Smasher out there nice and early, and maybe put the Miracles player through his paces. But here, Goodport really knuckled under. Did a really good job of turning that game around, making sure that he was in the commanding position, and ended up taking it home. So full credit to him. But it'll be Karlinski again now, wanting to clinch this title for the second time in a row. He can smell it. He can sniff it on the air, my friends. He can smell it. He wants that back-to-back trophy here. And we'll see if he's able to do it here as these guys hit their sideboards for the final time in this tournament. Our final game is upon us here at the Bazaar of Moxon in Strasbourg, and it's been a pleasure to have your company throughout this tournament. But of course, we'll be back tomorrow after this game is concluded. We're going to call it a night, but after that, tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Central European Time, you can find the three of us, Patrick Dickman, Raphael Levy, and myself, Riley Knight, and we'll be going through Modern, and we'll be very lucky again to have the presence of the Modern Master. Not only do we have a Pro Tour champion, or Pro Tour Hall of Famer, I should say, to my right, but to my left, it is a guy who has made a name for himself internationally as one of the absolute masters of the format. And Patrick, we're really looking forward to your expertise tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you.
He's all red. Look at him.
He's so red. I was hoping for some sort of.
I was going to say, stop it. Come on.
Some kind of insightful comment on the format there, like that. But no. Just a very modest thank you there. But no, it's true what I say.
I can see you moved on, Riley.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We had something going on.
We've had something going on, Raph. But I'll tell you what, I've moved to a younger model, mate. Your time is over, my friend. But no, Patrick Dickman. I mean, one of the pioneers of the Tummo Twin archetype, and you'll be sad that Splinter Twin isn't in the format anymore. But I'm sure you've moved on to greener pastures.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, of course, I wasn't happy when Twin wasn't banned, but I try not to worry about things that I cannot change.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean,
that's a good thing in life.
Yeah, it's a very good piece of advice.
He first thought of it once Twin was banned.
Yeah, when Twin was banned, I just locked myself up in my room for 3 days, and this is the lesson that I learned when I walked outside. Don't worry about things that you cannot change. This is exactly what happened.
It's very zen.
And then he's a Planeswalker spark just.
He's just ignited. Yeah, and he went to
Exactly.
Kaladesh. Yeah, for sure. There you go. What are you playing now in Modern?
I've been switching decks. I've been playing Banda Eldrazi, Affinity, Scape Shift, Infect, but pretty much any deck.
He's moved on. He's moved on.
I've simply been playing whatever came to mind.
So for the deciding game of this top 8.
Yeah, it looks like Goodport is on a mulligan now. He's shuffling up while Karlinski is
Showing off his
mucking
token.
around with some of these tokens. Yes, there they are.
All his BoM points.
Oh yes.
All of them that he won.
Yeah, he picked up a boat and a half fuller than last time, and he's obviously hoping to do the same here with this tournament. Looks like he's happy with his 7. I can see an Eye of Ugin amongst the cards there. Look at a quick glance at them there. Didn't get a good peek at the full 7. But Goodport here, down to 6. He'll be hoping that they contain the cards that he needs to close this game out. But I think really, with Karlinski on the play,
mulligan against Eldrazi on the draw.
Yeah. You'd think that the ball is certainly in Karlinski's court from this position here. I mean, anything could happen still. But
I think I haven't seen a Chalice so far, so that's at least something. But if he does have it, that's bad times. We'll see.
Well, let's find out. Here we go. The final game of Bazaar of Moxon Strasbourg is about to begin, and we're going to see Goodport scry down to the bottom here. He's happy with his 7. So we have Pithing Needle off a Cavern of Souls here.
Probably on Eldrazi.
The top. The Needle?
Yeah.
Needle almost certainly naming a Sensei's Divining Top here.
Yep.
It is indeed Sensei's Divining Top. And the Cavern of Souls, as you mentioned, Raphael Levy, probably on Eldrazi as well. Ponder is going to see Goodport shuffle once again. He's looking to sort of shore up the leaks in that hand that he's dealt himself.
How about taking out the tops against Eldrazi?
Given the number of
I'm
pithy
serious,
nails.
yeah. And Chalice on the draw.
Mm.
I mean, there's so many ways they can turn off your tops.
Well,
that would be next level, but I don't think it would like necessarily be bad.
But what are you bringing in instead? Like,
I don't know.
You can only have so many sideboard cards dedicated for that matchup, right?
But you make so many of his cards dead. Not dead, but so less good.
Endless one now for 3.
Cannot be countered.
I think the upside of actually getting to use the top is still better than just bringing in mediocre cards that are just also sitting in your hand.
Depends what they are.
Yeah, of course.
If they have more removal, like, well, I don't know, Banishing Strokes.
Arid Mace at the play.
Attack for 3. I think next up is
I think it's a Chalice that he just drew. Or is there? There's a Fortnite, so it's probably playing that.
I don't know if Sunlight is better here.
5 mana now. And his Thought Not Seer.
But he has a one. He knows his next card. Does he? Yeah, 1, 2. Yeah, he knows his next card.
And Goodport now with the opportunity to hide the cards that he doesn't want to see.
No?
Nope.
Taken by
shuffled.
the...
He shuffled. Oh, right. Okay.
Goodport here with the opportunity to hide the cards he doesn't want to be taken by the Thought Not Seer here with this Brainstorm.
Well, if he has a Terminus somewhere in his hand.
Yeah, it's gonna be brutal.
Yeah, the game is far from over.
I mean, yeah. I was thinking for a second how to cast it, but never mind. It does work. You draw it, then you fetch.
Yeah.
Then you cast it.
Yeah.
So Terminus.
Not particularly fancy. No, you just kind of do it. Yeah, it's very easy. Yeah.
I know. It's been a long day.
Well, it's not fairly easy. It's fairly advanced. If you don't know.
Fairly advanced.
Yeah, advanced. Okay. Yes.
So let's have a look and see what we're dealing with here. Force of Will, Brainstorm, Ponder,
and
another counterspell there, an actual literal counterspell, 2 lands.
If he doesn't have the Terminus, he can still have another shot at it.
I think you're just taking away the Brainstorm, though.
Oh yeah, he does not have another shot at it.
Like,
like
the counterspells, they do nothing, and
like he won't even be able to recover if he draws the Terminus.
Yeah, it's still going to be a long way.
Yeah, Anton has an Endbringer in hand.
Yeah.
That he cannot deal with. Yeah, with the Brainstorm is
so Kalinske here with a wealth of options. I mean, well, not really. Take the Ponder or the Brainstorm, but
you take the Brainstorm.
He looks like he's in a very, very good position here.
Yeah.
Kalinske looks to be in a position where you click your opponent and you're like, oh, keep it.
You
saw a little flick of the hands. They're like, oh, I don't mind this. This is a good position to be in.
Force of Will kind of spell. That's good for you.
Yeah. So with 7 power on the board here, the question is, you hold back the Endbringer. Certainly don't play it into the Terminus there, or do you just go right ahead and jam?
I think I would be holding onto it.
You don't step up and slam. All right.
Yeah, I don't think that you need to, and this is probably his only way to come back by Terminus. So.
Terminus and a removal.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see how things pan out. Kalinski's still thinking about it here with this Thought Not Seer trigger, taking a while to resolve.
I don't think there's any choice here.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he wants to resolve his Chalice. Like, he might be opting to go for Counterspell, so that Johannes has to use the Force next turn. But
he does have a Terminus.
Terminus off the top just like that as well. So Goodport, with some careful planning, has managed to keep the board clean, and we see a Plains fetched out now with the Arid Mesa there. But as you mentioned, the recovery plan for Goodport here is not definite. It's not clear.
Well, he draws another card, so he's far from out because he's going to play Ponder now. He needs something to deal with the Endbringer. That's probably not going to happen next turn because Anton is going to play the Chalice first. That's going to meet it might be not because it's going to meet the
Force
of Will. No, he has to play the Endbringer.
So 3 cards from Ponder here.
Well, he does know that Johannes is out of blue cards for now.
No, he has the counterspell.
He's got Counterspell, he's got Force and Counterspell,
Never mind,
I think actually Johannes is in pretty good shape here.
Well, that very much depends on the top of his deck, of course. He does need a Swords of Closure or another Terminus.
from this point, from where we are.
Yeah, of course.
I would say
his
before he
position
plays his
improved.
Sponder,
Yeah.
before he plays his Sponder, he has 1 unknown card and 3 more known. So he has access. He 1, 2, 3. He had access to 4 new cards that we don't know about, and I like his chances.
Absolutely.
Once again, it comes down to whether that Endbringer can be dealt with or not. Good port draws.
And it still has the fetch
Scalding
to
turn.
take away all the bad cards, if there are any. Depending on what Karlinski is going to play.
So Karlinski now finds a wasteland.
That's not good.
It's not good when your opponent has all basics. Yeah.
All basics. And very carefully played by Johannes.
Yeah, fetching out the planes there, of
even
course.
though he had...
Yeah, I mean, especially after the mulligan, you don't want to be fighting over lands, right?
Yeah.
So
Makes sense.
found a plains rather than a tundra to cast that terminus. Yeah, that's a very important distinction there, and something that he'll certainly be thanking himself for now. We're going to see Endbringer now.
Counter my Endbringer. Okay.
So good pod with no choice but to say go. We'll say that's fine, seeing as it was cast off the Cavern of Souls.
And let's see if there's a Swords of Plowshare.
So there's no terminus on top. But
So
he
good pod
might
was fetching.
have
We're
a
gonna get here.
brainstorm.
It's going to be Volk. Okay, interesting because Goodport does play a basic mountain. So obviously wanting to get the blue online as well as the red here. Maybe thinking about that counterspell in hand.
Or maybe he just drew Snap Custom Mage and wants to flashback Ponder to go to look to find Swords of Plowshare.
Draws a card for the turn. And it's a Tundra.
It's a sword.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Swords to Plowshares on
Now
the Endbringer.
Johannes is actually in a commanding position.
Absolutely.
Like Anton does not have anything. Oh,
Except for a very big Endbringer, and I think that is Eye of Yugi in his hand.
yeah, Ivagen is.
I mean, he's
is-
not going
is
to
far
be
from-
activating it anytime soon, but
So here we have now Chalice.
It's going to be countered by a
yeah, by counterspell.
counterspell.
Yep. Counterspell, there it is, yep. I have Ugin, and we're going to have Endless One now.
5.
For 5.
That's still a 3-turn clock. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So Goodport now needs an answer to this this latest threat here. Snapcaster Mage would do it. Terminus, obviously, thoughts would be just as good. Or a Swords to Plowshares off the top here. So Goodport trusting in the top of his library to treat him well. Force of Will in hand. Not doing much against the Cavern of Souls, though. Plays an island. Island we've already seen thanks to the Thought Not Seer and ships. Karlinski in for 5.
Wow.
Takes Goodport down to 10. He's 2 attacks away.
End of turn. Is there anything enough turn?
And I don't think that Karlinski has any bad draws really, because lands will be decent. Like if he finds soul lands at least to activate the Eye of Yugen at some point, and any draws will also be good.
Sensei's Divining top now. 1,
Now
2,
it's
3
active,
cards.
yeah.
Let's have a look. After that, Wear and Tear took care of the Pithing Needle. Put 3 cards back on top.
He played that very quickly. I wonder what it was. Probably a removal spell.
And now,
Another
Ooh, it
chalice.
was another Endbringer, but he decided not to play it.
so down to 5 now for Goodport. So obviously he didn't find anything with the top here. Karlinski can smell it.
Wow.
It's coming.
I don't know, he drew his draws were pretty good here.
Has another look at the top 3. Goodport.
Huh. So is he dead? Is it?
And he's going to draw a card. Put the top back on top. And forces.
Force,
Pitching
okay,
force.
Force into force.
Down to 4.
Isn't he playing the? He doesn't have. Oh, he doesn't want to play the
The Endbringer.
Endbringer yet. Oh yeah, he's
He
on 4.
he
He's
can't.
on 4. What?
He can't play it right now.
Oh yeah, he costs 6. Never mind.
Yeah.
Is it gonna be game? Doesn't
Good
he have
point.
anything?
Draws a card. Or has a look at the top 3. Trying to find a way out here.
Oh, that's a card.
Draws
Okay.
another card. It's
For
Engineered
0,
Explosives.
Okay, that's good.
Alright.
That still works.
Yep, still gets rid of the Endless One.
Oh, there's
Better
Reality
than
Smasher.
zero.
That's gonna be game.
Smasher. That's a
Reality Smasher off the top here. Down it comes. Karlinski asking the question, back-to-back titles, are they mine? And they
That's
are
game.
indeed.
That's-
Congratulations,
wow.
Anton Karlinski, making it all the way to the final and then cleaning up on the back of a reality smasher. We have had back-to-back championships here, won by Anton Karlinski with his Eldrazi list. What an achievement for him. He's got to be incredibly happy. What a great performance it was. But of course, let's take nothing away from his opponent.
That was a great finals.
And
I loved
absolute-
that. I enjoyed it from the beginning.
An absolute masterclass in sticking into the game and getting it done for there. But unfortunately, for the Miracles player, that is that. And unfortunately for the people at home, that is all she wrote today, my friends. We're so sorry to do it to you, but this is the end of our broadcast for today. But in just a few short hours, my friends, we'll be back at you, Cleopatra, I think in 12 and a half hours. 12 and a half hours, not so long to wait, ladies and gentlemen, not so long to wait. We're back with Modern, of course, and we're lucky enough to have Patrick Dickman's company for the tournament, as well as Raphael Levy, and of course, this guy in the middle. It's been a great pleasure to have your company throughout the day, and we're looking forward to it again tomorrow. But right now, it's time for us to rest the pipes, put our heads down, maybe have a pizza or two before we get there. But we'll be back to do it again all over once more tomorrow. We're looking forward to your company then. So, we'll see you here, Bazaar of Mox in Strasbourg. Take it easy, and we'll see you again very soon. Take care, good night. See you soon.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.